Welcome in on a rainy Thursday. Nice to be back. Looks like I've had a few vacation days this summer.
All deserved, man.
Got a couple more.
I took up for you yesterday. Anybody
Did somebody say that?
No, nobody did. But if
missing in action,
no. If anybody did, because really, after maybe one or two more, when it starts for you, that's Monday through Sunday.
Baby. I'm locked in
until the Tigers are.
That is correct.
Out of the tournament.
That is correct.
Coaches shows on Sunday, meetings, talk shows,
Saturday games,
Sunday games.
Hopefully, this thing does not end until April.
We looked at that date. What did we figure out? April 5th?
I believe
we can do that again. Final national championship game. Final two will be Monday, April 6th. So you wouldn't get on the charter until Tuesday morning the 7th, and the parade would be sometime that afternoon.
Is that kind of a work day?
You can be away.
I won't be here. I'll let you know that right now.
Give me a median blood alcohol content, Drew.
At least 5 times the limit.
I'll drive you wherever you need to drive.
Wherever
you need to go.
Well, I live downtown, so I don't even have to drive.
When's your wedding?
July 26th.
Oh, you'll have to.
Got plenty of time.
You know, Shane Lowry just now sobering up from the Open Championship.
That's why I didn't want to even think about picking him in the.
Man, was that a party
in the playoff?
I mean, I think it got.
Whoa.
Who
do you think, seriously, honest question, both of you, who drank more, Shane Lowry, Darren Clark?
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin. Oh, that was dangerous. Oh, yeah, he was nuts. But those are different sports. Hockey guys are crazier.
Shane Lowry was, but Darren Clark set a high standard for him.
I think Darren Clark beat him.
He did. And, yeah. All right, Drew. Tigers, let's say they do. They win it on Monday night, April 6th. Your wedding date is
July
26th. He's got enough time.
Sunday, July 26th. It'd be close.
It might be. I might have to start drinking coffee about a week before.
If it's that close, we're going to have to really keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Well, now, she'll be with you there for a few days, won't she, celebrating?
Yeah, a little bit.
But then she'll have plans to work out. I'm saying April 6th, about June 6th. Then you got a month to really get ready.
Yeah, I'll sober up around then.
But it's getting ready to be a busy sprint for all of us. It's that time of year. Good to see you, Dave.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I am hitting the floor running, as they say. I've got a really cool thing I'm doing tonight. You know, Tom Shadyac. You all know who Tom Shadyac is. That's Richard Shadyak's brother who just gave up everything in Hollywood to come here and sort of rekindle Soulsville. And he made a movie in Soulsville that is having its world premiere tonight all across Memphis. A few theaters in Memphis, and then I believe tomorrow, 400 theaters. And there is a fundraiser that will take place for really what is the heart and soul of Soulsville. And, you know, people would go, well, that's the Soulsville Charter School, or that could be Stax Museum, which, have you ever been to Stax Museum? Mm-hmm. It will blow you away how good it is. It is really cool.
I've been to the Grizzlies Stacktacular event there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One time.
Yeah. Lemoyne College is right there. So you got a middle school, a high school, a college right there. You've also got 2 different elementary schools right there. And they've got a community center. It's called Memphis Rocks, which is a climbing wall, but it's a gym, and there's food. And, you know, some people in that neighborhood may never have had fresh fruit or vegetables or juice. They got a juice bar called Juice Almighty, which is sort of like a takeoff of Bruce Almighty, the Tom Shadyac movie. So anyway, he's done this new movie on Brian Banks, who was wrongly accused of rape and basically lost a full scholarship to USC and a possible NFL career. He was that kind of a player. And so this sort of is a movie. Greg Kinnear is in it. There's a few big stars in it and a few Memphis people. And he did the movie here. Anyways, really trying to make Soulsville and that whole surrounding area around Lemoyne a vital, viable area in Memphis. So he's got a fundraiser tonight, and I went down to see this Memphis Rocks. It's incredible. It is so diverse in there. People working out and eating and drinking and intermingling. And they're trying to, right next door from that gym, build other things, including a major movie studio. He's already done this movie there, but he wants to make a lot of movies using Memphis talent. It's really a neat thing. So I did that this afternoon. I'm going to do the fundraiser tonight at the
You're going to
Paradiso.
rock tonight.
I'm going to try at the Paradiso tonight, and I think it's really some people are just, they see things that most of us can't, and they're almost like heroes to me. And I just met Tom Shadyac a couple of times. I don't really know him at all. I know
what
his
did their
brother
dad
better.
do?
What does his dad do?
His dad was at Alsac.
His dad was Danny Thomas's partner in starting St. Jude. Danny was the idea man, and Richard Shadyac
was the fundraiser.
He was the fundraiser that started Alsac. Yeah, and then
they're extraordinary people.
They are. This guy has decided he's making Memphis his home, and now he wants to make this neighborhood vital. It's incredible, and I hope a whole bunch of people come to see this Brian Banks movie tonight. And if you're there, you'll have an opportunity to give, and it's really going to be for this rock climbing community center. That's really what it is. It's a community center, and my hat's off to the Shadyacs and everybody else who's involved, because it's really a neat story. And the other thing is, while I was away, we never like to say where we're going or what we're doing for various reasons. Yeah, I know you did. I was on the Alabama Golf Trail.
You mentioned before you left,
and I will confess, that was an unbelievable gamble by this guy who had already made a lot of money for the Alabama Teachers Credit Union.
He didn't have to gamble anymore.
No, not anymore. Their holdings, they own Channel 5. They own broadcast entities all over the place. They own skyscrapers in New York City.
I wonder why more states don't try to emulate that.
Well, I think some did. In fact, look, the state of Tennessee tried to do a Tennessee Golf Trail. It started with 5-1 that was in Whitesville, on the way to Selma. And it failed. And that is now vacant property.
Because it worked for Alabama.
It wasn't along major highways. The way this was planned out, do you realize because I don't think it was quite as successful as it is now, but he invested $200 million in 8 locations to start this thing?
That's more than a gamble. That's lose sleep over.
It's amazing. It's amazing how successful
What was the best course
it is.
you played on it?
Man, there are so many good. One of the things, if I were to say I would have a complaint, and I've read this, by the way, from reviews, so it's not really just me talking. I think for the most part, these golf courses are almost too hard. You've got to be at least, I think, an 18 handicap to truly enjoy the golf course. They're all beautiful. Make no mistake about it. They're gorgeous, but they're hard. They're hard golf courses. You've got to be able to hit the spots.
But the golf course business out there, it is a sticky spot for them. They don't want to be dubbed putt-putt. They don't want to be dubbed super easy.
No.
And then too hard catches them. To hit that sweet spot, it's a tough call.
Well, one of them that got ripped the most by this one reviewer, who's honestly a very good writer and insightful. I don't necessarily agree totally with his angle on this, but it's called Cambrian Ridge in Greenville, Alabama. And it's 3 nines and a short course. And the 3 nines are all like made out of this canyon and ravine. And the hardest one is Canyon. It was closed, but we toured it because I wanted to see after I read about it, and this guy was blasting it for being too hard. And then I played the other 2, and I actually played the best on those 2 courses, so that's now my favorite. But
what yardage did y'all come from?
Oh, we play about 6,200 yards.
It's plenty for most.
I'm too old.
90,
and they're too hard.
99% of the people within the sound of our voice, 6,200 yards is plenty for you. I know that may not be the macho thing.
Right. Between 6,000 and 6,200 yards, especially when you have plenty of hills, like these courses do.
Unless you have a PGA Tour card in your pocket.
They are.
If you got that, then that's not enough for you.
They are incredibly gorgeous.
How was Auburn Opelika course? Because that used to host the Barbasol, didn't it?
Yeah, that's called Grand National.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's there. I mean, there's another brilliant thing. I'm sure that they must own that hotel. There's a Marriott hotel that I am sure you can't get a room at on an Auburn football weekend.
Oh, they'll 2-night minimum.
But wait. They're taking the cue from Oxford. What they're doing is they are around that property building another village, city, whatever you want to call it, with shops and homes and condos.
Their own little escape.
And this will be a little bit like when people started to buy houses or condos or get apartments around Oxford so they could go there for weekend football games.
It's really every SEC town now.
I believe it. And this is what they're doing there. They got
Dave,
you
ought to
this
see
Marriott.
Starkville. You ought to see Fayetteville.
I haven't been to Fayetteville in a while.
All the everywhere's tapped into this.
Isn't it? But it all comes down to what are your fondest memories? And for so many people, the college days are the good old days. And by the way, they've kept in touch with that area because they go back for games.
And the college towns have done a great job of trying to stretch it out all year. Let's say we start with this calendar right now. Well, August for a lot of these places, they like to call it move-in month, mostly for the female students, but also for the guys. So August is kind of move-in month for the hoteliers, restaurant scene. Well, then September, October, November speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. December starts some basketball. January really gets rolling. February into March, then baseball, then graduation.
Right.
That's big.
So you got like 2 months off.
Well, and then kind of the June thing in a lot of these places, weddings, anniversary parties, go back for that, that 50th wedding anniversary. Do it back at Old State U. Yeah. Orientation is big around those. They've almost stretched it out to a 12-month deal.
Well, here is why.
Christmas time.
If I ever
those 2 weeks around Christmas.
If I were ever going to really retire, and I'm not, but if I were, I would want to retire in a college town, and I'll tell you why. For the sports, for the theater, because there's going to be theater
things to do.
For lectures, for speakers who come through.
Very good point.
There's always something you can do. Or
if you can get a ticket, heck, you might run into a presidential debate or a VP debate if you get a ticket to it. Good luck with that, though. But you're so right, Dave, and it is something.
Please mark that down. Did you hear what he said?
You're so right, Dave.
You're so right, Dave.
That was part.
I want that tagged.
Also, there's this aspect to it, Dave. For me, I talk about it. I talk about it in every group I speak to. It does something for me to be on a college campus anytime, but especially on a football weekend, a Friday night. Now, I don't stay out as late as I used to, and I get up a lot earlier, but there is some vibe to that wherever you go, whatever college town it is, whatever college campus it is, it's a really good thing. And I knew you'd like Auburn. I have said it is among. I don't have a least favorite place, and I'm not going to do any list of my favorite because it would kind of be about a 10-way tie for first. But and Oxford is at the top of it, and I'm very, very partial. But all those places have tapped into coming back for the fun times and the good times, but at Auburn, I've said it's among my favorite because it feels like a really small town. Mayberry meets big time college football.
I got the same sense last year when I went to a graduation, by the way, in May, of Georgia in Athens.
It's great.
And that's the same thing. You can see the growth in people buying old houses and either making them Airbnbs or selling them as condos.
The Toady neighborhoods in Athens off the Sanford Stadium game day beaten path.
Yeah.
It looks Rockwellian. It looks like this is
it's gorgeous.
We developed the perfect little community, and it's that. But they say I've never been to Columbia. They say Columbia's like that. I'm looking forward to going to Mizzou this year.
I'll be honest with you, I did not get that same sense, and we were just there. Was it last year?
Last
fall? Yeah. It was not like the campus that and I'm not saying it's bad. Believe me, it's not. It was very cool, and there was a lot of construction going on because they are making it bigger. So that might have taken away some of the charm, but it did not have the charm of Auburn. It did not have the charm of Athens.
And I love College Station
or Oxford for that matter.
And then Baton Rouge. I mean, I could live at Baton Rouge year round if nothing else because of the weather. mean, you're what are you going to get?
Baton Rouge is cool.
You can get 5 weeks of cold weather, 6 maybe.
Is that all?
Of brutally cold. I mean, all of them, and they've tapped into now. One thing they all have, starting about right now or next week, from now through May, the traffic and the parking. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and online at lexusofmemphis.com with the Lexus people. I don't want to leave out Knoxville. It's in there, too. Give them a call at 901-362-8833. Lexus of Memphis offering the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and special lease option. If you ever thought I'd look great in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus of Memphis thinks you would look great in a Lexus, too. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500, and you will be looking and driving great. Lexus of Memphis, with the highest standards in the industry. You purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the luxury driving experience. 362-8833, online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, while we're talking about college campuses, the big story of the day around these parts is say goodbye to another quarterback, Brady McBride.
We said it closing last night. The transfer portal is open 24/7.
It is.
Didn't we, Drew?
We sure did.
With Austin. We said it last night, Dave.
You got a week or so of camp in, and the handwriting is on the wall, apparently. And Brady decided to enter the transfer portal. Any kid who's already put in a couple of years, which he did, and sees that maybe he's not going to be better than the guys that are behind him and wants to play. And I think playing is important.
Very.
If you've got abilities, maybe not at this level, but somewhere else.
I'm scared out of the Bahamas. There's going to be somebody that goes, there's just going to be so few shots on this team. I can go now and reboot.
That could happen.
Hope I'm wrong.
It doesn't happen to the best guy, though. It happens to the guy that maybe down the road could help you.
All right, with that, Dave, I know where you're going. I don't think I would be shocked by anybody in college sports right now entering the transfer portal. If the breaking news next was Tua Tagovailoa in the transfer portal, okay, that one may raise some eyebrows, but I don't know if I just go, I never saw that coming.
Well,
because it's all so volatile right now.
Show me one guy that was a starter, a mainstay that you knew he was going to be the guy that year, or in the starting lineup this year that was transferring. Because I don't know of any of those.
I don't know that I can. I probably can't. But mine is my shock factor is really lessened because you don't know that a girlfriend situation, a teammate situation, a coach situation, they're not running the offense like I thought they would run it. Basketball as well. Nothing would shock me now with the transfer portal. It never closes. Lights on 24/7 there.
Well,
it's open more than a Waffle House.
The problem here is depth. Although you do have Markel Quinn. He's now your backup, and apparently he's looked pretty good so far. You've got a freshman, and you've got a kid in the 2020 class, I believe out of Louisiana, that is rated very high.
And backup quarterback everywhere. Nobody is braced for that.
No.
I mean, I don't care who you are. That second guy, if you got to go to him, you're in trouble.
But the reason why depth is such a problem here is, if you think about it, Brady McBride becomes the third quarterback in 2 years behind David Moore, Brady Davis. People forget Brady Davis left. And by the way,
a great Manning passing academy. Brady Davis.
And by the way, he led his team to the playoffs in Division I in FCS
Illinois
State.
The Redbirds, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you lost Brady Davis, David Moore, now Brady McBride within 2 years. Hard to have depth, but you have to go, well, this kid Quinn must be pretty good. And Brady McBride saw that coming, and they've got other guys coming in that I don't know if I can beat.
Let's trust Mike Norvell with quarterback position.
Yeah.
Can we agree?
Well,
I think he'll be fine.
Everybody's always down on Brady White, and then you look, we went over those numbers, 3,300 yards.
His slash.
26 touchdowns.
His slash
9
good.
picks.
Yeah, I mean, what's the criticism? My top story, defending Super Bowl champs play tonight in preseason. That's the Cleveland Browns, right? They're the defending champs with all this offseason hype. Browns won it all last year, didn't they? They won 7 games, right? The love for the Browns need to slow way, way, way down. A lot of it was because of last year, how they closed. Baker Mayfield, I get it. But a lot of it's OBJ. Good player, at times great. I think will be great.
How long was he great?
Smattering.
Yeah.
Too much drama. And I said, maybe while you're away, here's the game I'm ready to see from him. Let's say they're rolling along 6-2. And in that 6th win, after the 8th game, they win. They score 35. Mayfield throws 4, but OBJ doesn't have any. His stat line that day is 2 catches, 27 yards. Well, they won, though. The next week, they come back and lose, and he's 4 for 42. Here's your drama on a 6-3 team.
I'm just saying a team that won 0 games and then won 7. That's great.
That is great.
I think it's more realistic to say, okay, the next step we take is we're going to win 9. This is not a team that's going to the Super Bowl.
Our wild card.
This is not a team going to the Super Bowl.
But they're treated like the champs.
Nah, it's crazy.
Not top story of the day.
Well, Tiger Woods hasn't played in a month.
We officially wrote him off.
And
we
then-
did it to him again yesterday.
Well,
John and Austin, Drew and I, it's over this time.
forever.
Forever.
Well, the way he
That's
talks,
about the 8th time we've done
I
that,
got
isn't
news
it?
for you. I was like Ted Butler. I was going, no, he's coming back. And then when we had Augusta, I had him, grand slamming it this year.
We don't get out of whack on Tiger, do we?
This is what bugs me. 4 over today. 4 over 75. In times past, what would he have done? He would not have talked to the media. He would have put something on his website.
He spilled his guts again, didn't he?
Just didn't play well. Joked that he broke 80. I'm telling you. Oh, he did. First of all, he drove the ball well, but his short game, which includes chipping, putting, short irons, wedges, horrible.
And what does that practice do to a back? Makes it really sore to work on that short game.
But also, it's that short game that needs play.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be playing with pressure in order to be able to operate when that happens, and he hasn't played enough. But based on what he said today, and go back to Royal Port Rush, this is a guy he's just not hungry anymore. You may be right this time in all your proclamations that he's dead, that the king is dead.
Somewhere in all the Tiger predictions, I have to be right because I've made every one you can make, and I'm not alone.
I'm just saying, this time where he's done, by the way he's talked in the last 2 press conferences, a month apart, I don't think it's there.
Little melancholic, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's there.
My not top story, 4 quarterbacks on the Washington roster, all big-time college stars, all with a big pro moment or moments, except for the rookie that they really want to lead them to Super Bowl success. Here are the 4 quarterbacks on the Washington roster. Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, Dwayne Haskins, Alex Smith. That's big-time college stars, isn't it? Yeah, all 4. Mm-hmm. And 3 of the 4 have had their moments in the NFL. Now for Dwayne Haskins to really bring them back. Hail to old DC.
I don't know why, but I am still leery of rookies. I know it can happen. I know it happened with Peyton Manning.
Well, he went 3-13 as rookie.
But
that second year he got it down.
Yeah, but his numbers were not horrible that first year.
Troy Aikman went 1-15.
Baker Mayfield had a good rookie year.
He did.
Patrick Mahomes had a good rookie year. But you're asking an awful lot.
Too much. And I think they're expendable now. They're a little bit.
Look at Mitch Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
Look at first year to second year. That's what I think that's a more realistic approach.
Sporting News today made their NFL predictions. They have Cowboys over Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
I can see that. I can see that.
That was double yo for me. Have Dave, I'm going to say it. Our Bears.
Okay.
Our Bears.
You're welcome.
Our Bears.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
The whole kicking
Our
stuff,
Bears
though.
can definitely win.
The whole kick. I like the Bears. If they wear all white on the road, I'd really love them.
I like the white with the blue pants. I like that look.
That's your Bears.
You know, the Tigers have a look like that, too.
Oh, I love
By the way, the Tigers have this blue helmet, or this grayish silver helmet with a blue stripe.
They've made it work.
So beautiful. Yeah. And those are our top and not top stories of the day. So the rundown. We're really busy. Coming up in a minute, Bill Bender from the Sporting News on college football. Jason Munz from the CA.
Ready to go to the Bahamas.
He's getting all packed up and ready to go. Russell Copeland on the National Football League. How many games we got tonight?
11.
11. Crazy.
You want to pick them?
No.
Me either.
Then the Tigers' newest sideline reporter. That would be Greg Gaston,
Our very own.
Senior. He will be with us at 5:30. Tim Doolin on Major League Baseball. Then we got Crunch Time. Oh, and at some point, I think we'll do this at 3:50. I think we're going to give away some Germantown barbecue.
Tennessee, 16 days till college football. Tennessee fans, what does 16 mean to you?
We got a big queue coming your way. That comes at 3:50 for a 6-pack of commissary, Germantown commissary, Collierville commissary barbecue. We're sitting in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together, celebrating the end of summer with the end of summer liquidation sale. Now, how's this? Pools as low as $19.99. Patio furniture starting at $12.99. Swim spas beginning at under $1,000. These are the swim spas. There's still enough summer left to enjoy great deals during the end of summer liquidation sale at Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road. It's actually 2120 Whidden Road to be exact. But know this, it is where 70,000 square feet of family and fun all come together. Back in a minute, we talk college football with Bill Bender from Sporting News. That's next on Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Have you ever noticed your air conditioning system never breaks down at a good time? We know at Conway Services the timing's not always right to replace your air conditioning systems. That's why we have financing options available. Right now, during the dog days of summer, get your new Carrier air conditioning system for as low as $99 per month. That's right, Conway Services has new Carrier air conditioning systems as low as $99 per month. And you could do that. Plus, your new air conditioning system comes with a 10-year parts warranty, a free Nest thermostat, and you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Sir Edmund Hillary was the first person to conquer Mount Everest. The first time he tried, he failed. He was knighted by the Queen of England, and at the gala occasion, on the wall behind the head table, was a huge picture of Mount Everest. The people gave him a standing ovation for even daring to attempt the climb. When they ceased applauding, Hillary turned his back to the audience, faced that picture of the awesome mountain, and said, "Mount Everest, you have defeated me once, and you might defeat me again, but I'm coming back again, and I'm going to win because you can't get any bigger, Mount Everest, and I can." What an attitude. What a difference it would make if we would say when we face the mountains in our own lives, you may defeat me once, you may defeat me twice, but you're not going to defeat me forever. I'm coming back and I'm going to win because you can't get any bigger and I can. I'm Shane Stanford from Christchurch, Memphis. Remember, you matter.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Wolochin and Brett Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. This portion of the show brought to you by Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Of course, my new thing that I love so much, which is the tankless water heater. It is the latest in technology. It's not been like brand new. It's been around for a little bit, which means the prices come down. It's more affordable, especially if you call 384-3511. That's 384-3511. Conway comes out, and you know they do such a good job. I'm a Comfort Club member, so if I've got any issues, I just call. I called them anyway to see how long it would take. They could come in right away. They gave me a fair price, and there's a really good deal going on right now, so I need to call 384-3511. And no, this technology, it's actually money saving on your MLGW bill because you only pay for the water that you're using. You're not heating a 75-gallon tank like I used to, and you never have to worry about a tank bursting. There's no tank. Oh, and the best part, you never run out of hot water. It's the best. It's the tankless, and it comes from Conway, 384-3511. Bill Bender from The Sporting News joins us in this time slot every week, and there's an interesting story, and maybe the first time in 3-4 years that I've seen Dabo Swinney make an error. I don't understand this deal with Kelly Bryant, where the kid played in 4 games. He was passed over. He graduated. He gave you 4 wins, and because you're no longer with the team, you don't get a ring. Bill Bender, please explain this to me.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I mean, quit the team.
He's a quitter. Used to be the worst thing you could be called in sports, Bill.
I mean, he left the team mid-season. I thought the way they handled it at the time was fine because it did happen in the mid-season, and Dabo made it. I don't think it was as lovey-dovey as either side made it out to be. I'm more of the old school guy. I mean, if I play on a team growing up and had I quit in the middle of the season, I shouldn't get the trophy that they all got. I mean, that's just the way I think about it.
I'm with you. And last year, shortly after his exit from the team, when he went on his almost rock band tour of schools and places, and that was within his right to do, to find a safe harbor, safe landing spot, and a place to play for the 2019 season. He found a good one at Mizzou. That's when Trevor Lawrence got hurt, and there were people thinking, well, will Dabo acquiesce and call Kelly Bryant back? And he immediately said, basically, we'll play the nose guard before we play him again.
Yeah, well, and I mean, this is a touchy subject. I get it because it is college athletes. I guess I would ask you guys, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but if a guy gets cut on an NFL team after 4 weeks, he doesn't get a ring, does he?
Yes, I think he does. If he was the quarterback and he delivered you a 4-0 record, I bet he would get something.
And there's the case of Dan Ugla 1 year with the Giants, appeared in only 4 games, struck out,
and he got one.
And he got one, but that's also the pros. I'm with you, Bill, and I don't know that Dan Ugla should have gotten one, but they vote those playoff shares and they vote those rings however they see fit. But in college, we know that there's really not a team vote. Yeah. But I will bet you Dabo Swinney went to senior captains, went to upperclassmen, and said, guys, what do y'all think? And I'll bet you they kiboshed it.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. And that's another thing. Maybe that would have been the solution, Brett, and to have the team vote on it. And a lot of those guys are probably friends with Kelly Bryant. And it's easy for me to sit here and render a judgment on him and his circumstances and why he left. But bottom line is I'm not on that team or in that locker room or on that coaching staff. And those guys, it's their decision. And I'll give Dabo credit for this. He sticks with his decisions and doesn't care what Twitter says or Facebook says or what the uproar is behind it. And that's a big reason why that's the most successful college football program in the country right now outside of maybe Alabama.
He's pretty resolute about it, and he's that kind of guy. He's always been. He was a tough-nosed, walk-on, play-in blowouts, 6th wide receiver, and that usually makes really tough guys and tough coaches. Bill, he was asked about it. They didn't say it. Now, at SEC Media Days, Dylan Moses did, but when asked by Chris Lowe if the SEC wear and tear, the SEC grind, was a contributory factor in the Alabama not very good game and the ensuing Clemson onslaught and blowout against them, Dabo Swinney then went on. He was asked the question, so he answered it, and I don't blame him, and I agree with him. Yes, the SEC's tough, but it's not the only meat grinder league out there. If you're in a league, if you're in the WAC, The other WAC people think that's the meat grinder because that's the peer group. That's the group they're in. And the ACC is sure a competitive league. And I agree with Dabo Swinney. He didn't say this, but it's kind of my take from it. The SEC, it's still really, really good. It's just not as bottom up as it used to be. It's more really top down now.
I think I kind of if we did the rule reversal, so to speak. So let's say Alabama's Clemson and Clemson's Alabama. Alabama doesn't lose in the ACC with their team either. They go 13-0. They crush Pitt in the championship game. They might lose a game every other year, where it's kind of what they do in the SEC anymore. They lose maybe one every other year. But Clemson would be just as good in Alabama's spot in the SEC West. Now they may lose a game. They may lose a game here or there. They may go down to Kyle Field and lose. They may go to the Plains and lose to Auburn. But I think the last 3 to 4 years they probably win the SEC too, and probably have some battles with Georgia just like Alabama does. I don't know. I'd be curious. I think this war of words between these two schools is just intriguing because I didn't. This is one thing I didn't see coming in the summer because they're typically so complimentary of each other before they play in those title games.
It is. I get Swinney. I mean, you've got to face these other teams. You're not going to give anything for
league you play.
You've got pride. You've got pride in that league that you're dominating, and you don't want people to think it's
chop liver.
My title's a little cheaper. We'll see you in the championship game.
I agree.
No, I think you should get credit for that too.
And I thought voiced it at SEC media days. I thought bad look from Dylan Moses and from the Alabama shop because that's the place that legendary head coach Bear Bryant said, when you win, you say very little. When you lose, you say nothing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I liked in some of the things they were saying. So, like, for example, Clemson was saying Notre Dame was better than Alabama. That's not even close to true. And then the Alabama players were saying Georgia was a tougher game. I mean, Georgia has a lot of talent. But
now Notre Dame started some of that, Bill. Notre Dame comparing scores said, aha, we played Bama closer than Clemson did, or the other way around.
Right. But Alabama didn't lose to Georgia by 4 touchdowns on the biggest stage. So I think it's interesting that they're going back and forth. It adds a little spice to what's probably going to be a 5th meeting at the end of the year, unless a Georgia or Ohio State or somebody else can get in the way. It's sure been entertaining, and for Dabo to kind of
tee it up.
ACC kick. I was at the ACC kickoff. He was pretty buttoned up. He's talking about starting over and by his standards buttoned up. And now he's unleashing. Now I kind of like it.
The NCAA has made the decision that standardized injury reports would not be implemented this year after they explored that possibility in response to the rise of legalized sports betting. I don't bet on these things. But I would have liked it just because if you're broadcasting a game or you're a big fan of a game and you really want to know about both sides so you can anticipate, it's a wonderful thing. And all these coaches play, these shell games. They don't want you to know a darn thing. They're to the point of paranoia. Will we ever see where injury reports become a mandatory thing?
I hope so because, like I said, it's useful for me. I think the college coaches get away with, when you ask them about an injury, they might as well just say, I'm not going to answer that instead of coming up with their elaborate excuses that, they'll say
HIPAA.
Like a boo-boo or
HIPAA
something like
or
that. I think
game time.
Right. So, I think it would be helpful, and I know the gambling aspect is part of this too, and I think as the more you see legalized gambling, I think the more an injury report will probably happen because then you worry about some of the gambler types getting on campus, and that's already a concern, and then you just don't want anything to keep that going. I mean, people gamble on college football, all right? I've done pools and done all those kind of pick 'em type things, and but if it threatens like the sanctity of the game, I think that's when you'll kind of see those injury reports come out. Well, then again, the NFL guys, they kind of hide around them too.
They do, and they're supposed to be much more transparent. My favorite is violation of team rule. And, is that late to study hall or is that a law broken? I mean, what is it?
Right. Well, and then suspensions are so inconsistent, and I think these are part of a different kind of process of college football that, I've been telling people there's a series of things that have to happen before we go to 8 teams, one of which would be, the Power 5 conferences probably got to play the same number of games. I think there's got to be a commissioner. Then you look at like you were talking, the injury reports part of that, the uniform and you can't really do this school to school, but how do you punish a player when I always kind of scoff at the 2-quarter suspension because that didn't teach a kid anything, Is there going to be a more uniform suspension? I say that knowing that every time Roger Goodell suspends a player, we scoff at him no matter what the number of games is.
That's right. If it's 4, we wanted 8. If it's 8, we wanted 12. He never can get it.
And if it's 1 or 2, and then sometimes they're like, well, he shouldn't have been suspended at all. So I think that's almost an impossible job for somebody. But then again, college football, I think that would be a step in, this autonomy talk that always goes around. I don't know what the timetable for it is, obviously, but I think it's something that could happen down the line.
Bill, at any mention, almost annually, the first mention of the year of the potential of a commissioner for college football, I always throw it out. All right, I want yours, I want Dave's, I have mine. Who should be the first commissioner of college football?
Nick Saban. If he retires, give that to him for 5 to 10 years. He already has the most influential voice in the sport as it is. And I don't think that would stop. And I think he's pretty transparent most of the time. I don't think he's overly vested in the SEC. I think he's been pretty vested in the game. I could be wrong about that. There's a lot of people that wouldn't fly, but somebody like him would be pretty good at it.
I would go for somebody who that is not too old, who has been a commissioner of a league that understands equity, fairness. Because if are we saying Power 5 football, or are we saying college football?
FBS, 130 teams.
Yeah. So I would look for a commissioner with experience. The guy I would have looked at, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but it would have been Mike Slive, because I've seen Mike Slive on so many different levels. But a guy like that.
Mine's David Cutcliffe. It always has been when that question comes up. I think he would nail it.
Does he want to be an administrator?
I don't know.
I think he loves coaching.
Well, I think Nick Saban loves coaching.
Yeah.
Right. Those kind of guys, yeah. I think those are all good choices, by the way. Mike Slive would have been a fantastic choice for this because he's kind of one of the guys that helped usher in the BCS era, obviously increased the popularity by the SEC by about 1,000. Maybe that's cutting them short.
I know who I don't want. I don't want Mark Emmert.
Right. Well, I just think you need somebody to take this game into the next stage if that's where they want to go. For the time being, I'm okay with 14 playoff. I'm not in a rush like everybody else to go to 8 because I know there'll be consequences with 8 with the bowl system. I don't know. There's already consequences now, and there's unintended with that. It will. I don't think it'll ruin the regular season by any means, but there are parts of the regular season that the value would be diminished a little bit if we go to 8.
I'm for 8 because I'd like to see the group of 5 have some representation. But your point is well taken. I am not a big bowl guy, like the guy who sits across from me, because I don't think it's a true test. You've got so many weeks that separate your last regular season game to the game. Sometimes players won't play. A lot of times coaches aren't there, whether it's a head coach or your position coach or, frankly, your coordinator. It's just not the same. And if you took away 4 more good games that became part of the playoff, then you're really diluting it even more and making it less attractive. So I think that's an excellent point. Yeah, love having Bill. You come every week and chat with us, and we're getting there. We're only a couple of weeks away now.
Would love the Sporting News NFL picks today. I didn't see a Cowboys Kansas City pick coming. That's bold.
Well, blame that on Vinny and Tad. They do a good job over there. I weighed in a little bit, but, they get tired of hearing about the Packers and Browns. So thanks for having me on, guys. I guess every week, I'm excited, and we'll get one week closer.
You got it, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you much. Bill Bender, Sporting News, college football expert. We've got a big cue coming your way in a matter of moments. You want to wait, or do you want to give it now?
You tell me. When you're ready, I'm ready.
Is it hard?
I don't think so. You think it's hard, Drew?
No, I don't think it's too bad.
It's going to be in a Tennessee fan's wheelhouse. 16 days from today, college football starts, and we know the most famous number 16 in Tennessee history, don't we?
I think so.
From Newman High School in New Orleans, Peyton Manning. Name the only Tennessee quarterback to start and play wearing number 16 since Peyton. It's now retired. Nobody's ever going to wear it again, but one guy did. Since.
Oh.
He got in there in the wiggle room years.
That'd be hard to Google that, I think.
I think so, too. I think the UT fans got to know that.
I think it's going to be a UT fan who wins. 360-8255. If you do, if you know and you win, that's a six-pack of Germantown Commissary Barbecue, and you can get it one of two different places. You can get it at that wonderful new place in Collierville. Poplar and Houston Levy, it's huge. 3 times the size. By the way, if you're looking for a place to watch football games, you see how many rooms have TVs there? That's the perfect place for a watch party. Get your alums, get all your buds together, and go watch college football and eat the best barbecue that there is. And they got an outside patio. They'll have TVs out there. You can really, really enjoy that with all the local beers on tap, huge wine selection, and, of course, the same Germantown Commissary shoulder and ribs and brisket that you've been enjoying at the quaint little place in Germantown for years and years and years. Now there are 2. And the one in Collierville is great for football watching. Ooh, gosh, I love that place. Germantown Commissary. We take the break. 360-8255. After Peyton, one player wore the number 16 at the University of Tennessee for a 6-pack of G-Town Commissary. Who is it? We find out in a minute on Sportstime with Wolo and Stats.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurt. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work, and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
John Burgess, we're still in the afterglow of a very successful golf tournament.
Brett, I want to convey my sincere thanks to Daryl Smith and his staff at Jack Sammons and the board and CBS for putting on such a great golf tournament. Not only did we see great golf and saw Memphis and St. Jude painted in such a positive way, we got to show Memphis as the great foodie town that it is. From Andrew Michael to barbecue, and I especially want to express my appreciation for the cooperation shown by all the barbecue places at the pit. Even though we're competitors, we certainly work together to produce great barbecue. Especially I want to thank Walker Taylor with Germantown Commissary, Elizabeth Blondis with Central Barbecue, Ernie Meller with Hog Wild, and Pat Donahue and our staff at the Rendezvous. Dining out in Memphis is one of my great pleasures. Of course, we want everyone to come to the Rendezvous, but don't forget all the other great food establishments where all our friends and family work hard every day putting out great products and quality service. Food is one of those understated assets the world needs to know about Memphis.
The Rendezvous since 1948 in the alley in downtown Memphis.
Hey, Mid-South hunters and fishermen, the Duck, Buck, and Bass Sportsman Expo is coming to the Agri Center in Memphis August 9th through the 11th. Now, Friday is happy hour with beer and brats. Saturday and Sunday see special guest T-Bone from the hit TV show Bone Collector. Also see Frank Addington and his amazing archery show on stage all weekend. Watch Frank hit an aspirin as it's thrown in the air while shooting his bow behind his back. Plus, there's door prizes and giveaways all weekend. Win a $250 shopping spree to Final Flight Outfitters or a trail camera that sends text photos from Sniper Hunting Products. There is also a 3-day hunt of a lifetime from Trophy Club Outfitter of Indiana and a family 4-pack to the Talladega Speedway. And be sure to see the Sherp. It's the most ultimate ATV ever created, and they say that it's never been stuck. It's the Duck, Buck, and Bass Sportsman's Expo, August 9th through the 11th at the Agri Center in Memphis. Go to duckbuckandbassexpo.com for all the info. And remember, hunting and fishing, it's who we are.
Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
We like to party.
Look at all those Tennessee balls on the line.
Wow. Woo, they know the answer.
Might be a LSU Tiger in there that knows the story.
Well, you're giving a big hint there. But I got a feeling from those that are already there, they will know. We got all those football games on tonight. You know who you will not see? You will not see Nick Bosa.
You sure won't.
Man. When you
and the Bosa
boys
they, so far, and that was their dad. I mean, their dad was can't miss out of Boston College to Miami in the 80s when Miami desperately needed defense.
Well, I
he couldn't stay on the field.
I believe this guy will be it. But you know what? He was hurt a lot at Ohio State.
All the time.
And
big stuff, little stuff,
and
in between stuff.
This a bad ankle, and we know how long ankles take. And they've already said he's not playing in the preseason.
And there's only one thing that fixed that badly sprained ankle. Time.
The Germantown Commissary Big Q of the day is a simple question, and it is this. There's one person and one person only to wear the number 16 since Peyton Manning
at quarterback
left at quarterback. No one's going to wear it again.
No.
So, who?
Maybe Marshall Manning someday. Maybe.
Well, you're putting a lot of pressure on him.
He's 7. He's ready for 8. He's ready for the pressure.
What makes you think he's not going to Ole Miss?
Well,
like Grandpa.
Maybe so.
Come on,
he's
now.
tight with his dad. Boy, you see them everywhere together too. They go to all the stuff together. I don't know who's having more fun. I think I do know.
Yeah, I know.
I know. With me and my nephews who had more fun.
Tom,
me.
You've got the first shot at this.
Hey,
one.
Tom,
who wore 16 after Peyton?
All right, so I'm not a UT fan. This is a total guess. I'm going to go with Casey Clausen.
Oh, so close, Tom. What a heartbreaking story, wasn't it? Oh man. That was close, Tom.
Close, but no cigar.
Right.
Jeff,
hey,
it is
Jeff.
your turn on the First Bank phone lines, 360-8255. Do you know the answer?
Yeah, the first guy, I thought he had it, but it's his brother, Rick.
Very good, Jeff.
Yep.
Oh, Tom, that was too bad. Jeff, do you feel bad for Tom?
I really do.
I kind of do, too.
Well, here's the deal,
but
Jeff.
One's left-handed, and one wore 16, and Casey wore 4. What did Casey wear?
No, he wore 7.
7, okay.
And Rick was left-hander.
You could get a hold of Tom and share it. You got a
really
6-pack. That would be a nice.
Reach out to Tom.
I don't feel that
bad. Great stuff.
I don't blame
Jeff.
you.
Good sport.
We'll put you on hold.
You a
got
Tennessee
the
fan?
Answer?
Are you a fan? Are you a Tennessee fan, Jeff?
Oh, I've been following them since the mid-1960s.
Give me your prediction for this year. What do they finish? What bowl?
I think they'll be about 6-6, and they'll get one of the lower-end bowls. But let me tell you, I miss him not being in a bowl. I'll be happy with that. I think he's going to get us going in the right direction.
I do too. 6-6 could land in AutoZone Liberty Bowl. That'd be fun. It's been since 1986. Vols have been there.
I know, and if they're there, I will be there.
And boy, I don't know if it can be colder than it was against Minnesota in '86.
That was bad. I didn't go there, but I got cold just watching it.
Or in '74 against Maryland. Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
That was really cold. We'll put you on hold, Jeff. Good job, man.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm looking at this text, and you'll have to explain this to me. It's you guys can't forget to remind Dave.
Dave, it's
of his illegitimate golf win.
I didn't want to throw it at you right when you got back from your trip to Africa.
This is while I'm
sorry,
I'm gone
from golf,
ripping me.
No, Dave, the Standards and Practices Committee of the golf segment we've met, and you have a formal complaint has been lodged.
By whom?
By members of the committee, and you've now been charged with gross, repeated, flagrant institutional misconduct and lack of control, a knowing and willing flagrant abuse of the rules, standards, protocol, and shocking lack of spirit of the rules, and that regardless of the outcome, a banner will come down, all victories forfeited, immediately expunged from records, from the Golf Picks media guide, and a stern order of repeated impropriety, you will receive the Golf Picks death penalty. Banners will come down.
Why is he laughing? This is a serious
This is not
matter.
good, is it? This is not good.
He's not taking it serious.
Dave,
where's this charge stemming from?
Well, Billy Horschel was 37, and yesterday was 40 and up.
I must tell you that I reached out to other members.
Drew, were you one?
I did not get a message.
Another member. I have evidence to prove it.
Dave,
who said 37, what's 3 spots?
Dave, you know so well from the good upbringing that you had, the person that drives the getaway car robbing the bank is just as guilty. So you can't say they made me do it.
Oh, so you then are losing all your banners, victories, and everything else?
Dave, your case is
because you led me down the primrose path?
Your case is ahead of the committee. It's a little bit like you can't go blaming Leo Lewis for everything.
Okay, Leo.
But I thought you would take it more seriously than this, and so far, the committee, just similar to the NCAA and banners coming down, they don't like you thumbing their nose at them.
We'll have to take this up with another party, John, on Wednesday.
Oh, John's going through past podcasts to get exact language down on it. So
he's the one who brought.
This is the elevation of how serious the charges are. Dave.
It's hard.
You should take them seriously.
It's hard when people come from behind and beat you when you think victory
I told you be this
is in your grasp.
I told you.
It's
you'd be
in your grasp. Sorry. I'm a late
Austin Eldridge is
comeback
involved too.
guy.
Austin texted me, and he got dragged in, kicking and screaming yesterday.
What did he scream about?
Well, he was kind of forced to be complicit in the picks. He had to voice them with Rory and the aforementioned controversial one. 37 inside
and it's not like this is your first strike, Dave. I mean, this is strike 10.
Gosh.
I thought we were pretty lenient up to this point.
Really?
And you implore
you who always get guys who aren't in the tournament, we give you another shot.
And you implore.
Oh, I guess you think ignorance
spirit of the rule
is okay in the spirit of law.
Yeah, it's a very serious matter.
Wow.
We
I'm
know,
not the one on trial, Dave.
We know how untidy banners coming down and bowl trophies being returned can be.
Jason Muntz on Hoops in the Bahamas. He's from the Commercial Appeal. The Tigers are taking off. He'll be with them. We'll talk about all that in just a second. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales. Modem must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Dreaming of the coast? Wake up and run to Crab King Seafood. For the most flavored seafood and biggest plates, there's a Crab King's near you. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or the East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Top Memphis Food Reviews recently picked Crab King's as a winner in their top 10 category for 2019. Now you know what the King stands for in Crab King's. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab King's is #1. So don't dream of good seafood. Make the right choice the first time and every time. Make it Crab King's. Come and devour tasty snow crabs, king crabs, shrimp, salmon, catfish, calamari, and more. Enjoy Memphis's best tasting pasta with your choice of toppings. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or the East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Crab King's is open Tuesday to Sunday. Enjoy 50% off lunch portions and dollar fountain drinks and hang out with Crab King's for Friday night parties from 8 to 10. For more information, Google Crab King's Memphis or download the app for a free drink with every order. Crab King's, always a Memphis favorite.
Once upon a time, there was a sleepy bear in search of a place to nap. Like the inside of a car. A coupe? Too small. An SUV? Too big. A station wagon? Just right. But as his eyelids began to get heavy, covered it. September 30th, 2013. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 of the show. We've touched on a lot of things already today. Silly details of golf pick'em contest. I don't understand that at all.
It's a lot of trouble, Dave.
Tiger Woods' bad day.
75.
And Troy Merritt with a 9 under. Better than Dustin Johnson by 1. My guy Rory, much in the hunt.
Very much.
Big story, Brady McBride, the 3rd Tiger quarterback in 2 years now to hit the transfer portal. David Moore last year, right before
it's
him,
everybody.
Brady Davis.
It's an affliction in every sport, and I can't knock them.
Also,
people want to play.
I can't believe I forgot to mention this in the very first hour, probably the very first thing out of my mouth. But I was intrigued by the Alabama Golf Trail
and inundated by the severity of the charges.
Memphis Rocks. I didn't even know at that point.
Well, you had to
superfluous.
You had to sense it.
Crazy.
I wouldn't dismiss it, Dave.
Crazy petty jealousies. But what I didn't mention, which is very important, when I left here, I believe the last show with you, the Cubs and the Cardinals were tied. And I believe
Jason Munns from the Commercial
Cardinals
Appeal joins us now. I'm sorry, Dave.
The Cardinals took a 1-game lead. The Cubs are now 3 games, even with all their injuries.
Dave, it's time to talk Bahamas and basketball. No time for Cardinals.
Jason Munns from the Commercial Appeal.
Help me, Jason. Get me out of this.
No. I want to keep this going. This is entertaining.
Jason, tell me, are you a Cub fan?
I can't claim that. No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
who's your baseball team, Jason? I don't know.
I am an Atlanta Braves
Very good.
fan through and through.
Yeah. Well, then you're having a good year, and you're about to have about 7 or 8 good years.
Jason, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Natchez, Mississippi.
Okay, and Mississippi is gone. It's Braves country. Maybe, boy, you get down to Natchez and maybe a little south. Maybe still a little New Orleans type tribute to the Astros, but most of Mississippi, it's Braves country now, and with the Double-A team in Jackson.
But didn't Jackson have the Mets for a
long
of
time?
Yeah.
Had the Mets with Gooden and those guys on the way up. Lenny Dykstra, Tim Tuffle. Boy, nobody said Tim Tuffle better than Harry Carey. But, Jason, I say all that once upon a time, a long time ago now, Mississippi was Cardinals country.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I know, and talking about the AA team in Jackson, the first professional game I ever attended was a Jackson Generals game, and got Chuck Carr's autograph, down when he was down there, and so I was exposed to a little bit of that Met stuff first, and actually the very first major league game I ever attended was an Astros game. They just so happened to be playing the Braves, but it was in Houston. So yeah, there are some Astros fans, some Texas Rangers fans here and there in Mississippi, but by and large,
uncanny. My first Major League Baseball game was an Astros game against the Pirates, summer of 1968.
I don't think I made that. I wasn't that.
Yeah.
No.
All right,
that wasn't the one.
So Jason Muntz, who covers the Tigers for the Commercial Appeal, the basketball Tigers, is getting
and it's official now. He is the
he's last time well
you've been gone. He's official.
No, I saw him at the Tiger Media Day. He hadn't known. So this is very recent. So let's start with congratulations on that.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. Yeah, it's funny, and I was looking forward to talking to you. But yeah, I found out merely hours after we spoke, and wasn't trying to hide anything. I just didn't know.
Well, we are happy for you. This is a great gig. Because if I think about if I think about the people that have had this gig, that have gone on to other great things, starting with Mike DeCourcy,
Ron Higgins, Bobby Hall,
every one
Lynn
of them.
Zinser.
Yeah, every one of them. And it has been a real stepping
Zach
up
McMillan,
point.
Jason
Zach
Smith,
McMillan.
Gary Parrish. It is the catapult. It is.
Gary Parrish.
Yeah.
No pressure for sure.
Yeah, good luck, Jason.
Yeah. No. It takes a good writer to get that to begin with, and then they usually can do whatever they want with it. We hope you're here for a long time. With all that said, what are you looking forward to most? The bonding, the beach, the basketball, which I really don't know how good it will be.
Actual game competition?
Golf, because I think the staff's going to play a little golf. What are you really going to concentrate on here?
If I'm, personally or professionally, I guess we can do both. Professionally, I mean, this is going to be the very first time, albeit in an exhibition setting, but it's going to be the very first time that this number one recruiting class is going to be on the court together against someone other than each other. And I mean, unless you're counting that time some of the Grizzlies stopped by and they had some pickup action a few months ago. But no, I mean, this is going to be the first time with referees and with coaches and substitutions and all that stuff. And I mean, that's a tough beat. I mean, that's going to be hard to beat. Just the anticipation that's come, that will accompany that. But then, personally, I'd like to get a round or two of golf in on the island. That's going to be another tough beat.
Tell Coach Hardaway to give you strokes.
Say that again.
Tell Coach Hardaway to give you strokes.
A lot of strokes.
I'm going to need them. Yeah.
Jason, I'm excited about this trip, and out of it, I just have no idea what the playing time distribution will be. How many different guys you think will go into the scorebook as appearing, and how many different guys could have double-digit points in a single game there?
Well, I feel like everybody who's healthy will play. There's 4 games in 5 days, so that's plenty of time to get everybody get everybody some minutes. Some are going to play more than others, obviously, but I bet we see 5 different starting lineups. I can't imagine that there will be a scenario where we see, one starting lineup that's duplicated more than once. I doubt very, very seriously that we see that. But what a fun time this is to just wonder these things like you're talking about. How many double-digit scorers are we going to see? I mean, what do you guys think? You think, 3, 4
Well,
in the first game, 2, 3 maybe in the first game?
Or more.
Oh, I think you'll see a lot of balance because they're going to make sure of that. Brett brought up an interesting thing when we were talking about this in the first hour that, with this transfer portal, and we all know that Brady McBride transferred today, that, maybe somebody on this trip's going to realize there's only one ball.
Won
and
enough shots in the Bahamas.
But if you are Penny and you're going to play every different game, a different starting lineup, and you're going to really freely substitute.
Everybody
so
gets their shots.
nobody gets left off. You don't have to worry about that. And I think that's exactly what you will see. There may be moments at ends of game if there's any real competition. The Bahama national team may be a really competitive team. There was another team, and I can't remember which one, Jason, reading your stuff, that beat Furman or somebody like that. That team
first game.
That team may present you with maybe a challenge. So down the stretch, you may see some of the guys that he's going to kind of rely on, or he wants to know if he can rely on them. That maybe is what you will see. But I don't think you'll see any kind of real pattern like you will during the regular season.
Oh no, for sure. You may be able, once you see it, you may be able to understand why he's doing what he's doing, as far as starting lineups and substitutions and things like that. But I don't think that you're going to, what you see on day one is certainly not going to, it's not going to mean anything. It doesn't mean that that's what you're going to see on day 2, 3, or 4. It's this is far too early to be able to forecast anything like that.
What do you think the staff goals are? What do you think Coach Hardaway and his staff, they want to see out of this? Maybe somebody that you can get into them and during a timeout. What do you think they want?
Well, Penny has said this over and over again in the last couple of weeks. Just, he wants to see. He's hoping that they don't just go down there and blow everybody out. He wants to see how these guys respond to adversity because, let's be honest about this. They're the number one recruiting class for a reason. You got a bunch of really, really, really good basketball players who most of them haven't had to deal with a lot of adversity in their short careers up to this point, and so I think that is at the top of his list. It's best to find out now how guys respond to adversity than in the season, and I think that's at the top of his list, and I don't blame him because he's never seen it before out of these guys, probably because they've never had to go through much adversity before, and so I think that's definitely at the top of his list.
If we're picking a starting 5 right now, obviously your big man is going to be James Wiseman. Precious Achiuwa is also considered a one and done guy. He's got to start, right? Now you've got Lance Thomas, who I think is going to be a great player that nobody really knows about. You got DJ Jeffries. So there's your third big guy somewhere between those two, right? I don't know which way they go there. I don't know which way they go there. Is Boogie Ellis the starting point guard? I would suspect that. Or, is Lomax the guy because he knows what Penny wants? But I would think Boogie Ellis would be the guy that would, just by sheer talent, start. I don't know that for a fact. But
if you run into his own, Tyler Harris.
I'm guessing. Well, you've got Quinones and you've got Tyler Harris at the 2. If Quinones plays the 2, I understand he's such a good rebounder. He could play the 3. Who are we missing here? There's
Damian Ball.
Damian Ball, who, according to Penny, is just taking everybody by surprise. How do you think this thing would start?
Are we talking about next week or once we get to the season?
You go either way because I don't believe what you see in the Bahamas is the way it's going to really be. I think he's just going to mix and match here.
Yeah, no, it does depend because there is some flexibility, like you said. You could have that DJ Jeffries, Lance Thomas tandem at the 3, or you could put Lester Quinones there and go a little bit smaller. But you wouldn't, you sort of gain if you can go one way and you can have, a heavy backcourt, strengthen your backcourt, or you can strengthen your front court and go defensive minded with an extra big out there. I tend to think that you'll see the defensive minded lineup probably earlier than anything else, and so I think Wiseman, Precious Achiuwa. I'm gonna say Lance Thomas probably gets the edge over DJ Jeffries right now. At least out of the gate. I mean, too early to say that DJ Jeffries has earned a chance to start over a guy who's been around for a year. And then I think it's going to be some combination of Boogie Ellis, Alex Lomax, and Tyler Harris for those two backcourt spots. I just feel that's kind of what I'm seeing right now.
Jason, I love when everybody's got kind of a favorite song from the parishioners. They want the choir director to break into at any church service. How about this for an idea from me, kind of a story idea? And I know you got a million things to do while you're down there. The United States college teams that have gone down there before, how tournament ready were they? And how far did they advance? And has anybody ever gone down there with this many new guys? What was the veteran breakdown of those teams that have gone in the past for some kind of litmus test, some sign of Bahamas success? What does it lead to? Yeah, no, that's good. I'm always in the market for more story ideas, and I think that's a really smart one. I mean. Like who went last year from the United States down there? Do you know? I don't off the top of my head. I would need to look that up. I'd like to see if there's any barometer whatsoever that you can sink your teeth in, because the Tigers did go up to that trip a few years ago. I think Josh's last year to Canada, and that kind of was the harbinger of things to come. That was a little rough in some of those games, but there are a lot of teams. I don't know of a team in the country that needed this more than this much new. Oh, I think you're right. I mean, and Penny said it himself. He could have done it last year, but he knew that this team would benefit from it more than the team he had last year, and not only the players, but also the coaches.
I'm curious in all of this mix. I know we're missing a shooter. So you've got Quinones and Lomax and Harris. We throw in Ball's going to come in, and I'm trying to remember who else is on this roster that's going to come in and make an impact. We know Dandridge is. You got Boyson, you got a Hardaway that could come in, and then your other big would be Isaiah Maurice. And Isaiah Maurice, that's who I was trying to remember. Who had good play down the stretch last year. One more, Jason. Kind of a story idea. We were going over that litany, I think, of an all-star list of journalists and people through the years that have covered the Tigers. We left out Drew Hill, your immediate predecessor in that job. Did a great job. How about this one? How about this one on the eve of the season, what this season possibly could be? You do that all-encompassing story, and you get tidbits, vignettes, stuff from all those people, from that great list, on what to expect on this heavily anticipated year and kind of what was their heavily anticipated year and circumstances heading into a season from their experiences on the Tiger beat. I'm all about perspective, and the more voices we can, the more people who have opinions and people who have their different perspectives, I think would be valuable. To sort of building the anticipation, as if the anticipation wasn't already built up enough. I don't think you can do enough leading up to this season for sure. I don't know that we've ever had a season since 2008, honestly, that is more anticipated than this one. And 6 and 7 really whetted that appetite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting thick. and rightfully so. I mean, good grief.
Why not?
Again, number one recruiting class in the country, and especially coming off getting back to the postseason last year, kind of overachieving, or in some people's minds, not necessarily people around here, but in some people's minds, they overachieved, and Penny showed that he wasn't just a pretty face on the sideline, and so all of that kind of goes into the hype surrounding this season, and I think based on what happens next week, it could get even more serious, which is a scary thought.
Can't wait to read all your stuff. Wish I was gonna come, but I'll be living it through you.
I wish I would be there too.
Yeah,
I wish you guys would be there too.
Well,
it'll be fun.
We'll wait for 4 years and see where he picks. Here's what I want him to do. I want him, because he was reminiscing. I don't know if that was with you. I think it was. He was reminiscing about his time in Maui. I was on that trip with him in Maui.
And he played great.
He played great. And I don't think he'd never been to Hawaii before that. I know that for sure. And I've gone to Maui thanks to the University of Memphis 4 times. I hope he gets back into that series, because that is always, first of all, it's incredible.
Oh, it sets the tone for the college basketball
and
season.
The competition is great. And, Maui to me is still, that is my idea of paradise. Jason, you'll enjoy the Bahamas, though. And
take the sunscreen.
Congratulations to you on the permanent gig.
Thank you, man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Jason Munz from the Commercial Appeal. Now we know. The Tiger basketball beat writer for the U.
Dave, we saw it with our friend Thomas Harding. Out of that year of, be kind here, disjointed football, the year of the CFL for Memphis.
Yeah.
The real star that year was Thomas and his coverage. Out of the AAF, it was Jason.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He knocked it out.
He did. And this is a sweet thing for him. This is as sweet as Dinstall candies. It is. And there's a summer sizzler special going on right now. And you know what I hate about football coming? It's the only thing I hate about football coming. It means the end of the strawberries. But you still have time. While you can, flock to Laurelwood, flock to Pleasant View, flock to Germantown, flock to Collierville. Get your strawberries while you can, or pineapple, or raspberries, all the candies that are so good with that chocolate-covered topping. Love their topping. Heavenly Hash, or my favorite, Cashew Crunch. Cashew Crunch, by the way, is perfect for up-and-coming college football, because even when it's still hot, here's the great thing about Cashew Crunch. It never melts. Can't melt. Not like chocolate. It does not melt. Go check it out. Dinstall's, get the Sizzler special this week, and make sure you're getting ready. Your last chance at the chocolate-covered fruit, but know that you always have Cashew Crunch. This is not a sweet story. This is a bad story. The Atlanta Braves have lost another great player to an injury today, a weird one. The Braves lose standout rookie Austin Riley to a torn LCL that happened while he was weightlifting. Riley was warming up in the visitors' weight room at Target Field before Tuesday's game against Minnesota when he felt something unusual in his knee. He then did not appear in yesterday's win.
I feel terrible. I said yesterday he's going to play in October baseball. And now, this.
He's officially placed on the 10-day injury
Dave,
list.
let that serve as somewhat of a cautionary tale to Brooks Koepka. I know how he likes to get in there and really sling the weight around.
Oh, he does.
But there are just so many clean and jerks in everybody.
Bad deal.
And why, well, Tiger may have, in the SEAL training stuff, he did something to himself in there, didn't he? Don't you think? That was overboard, wasn't it?
Well, if you read Hank Haney's book, clearly he was, and he thinks that's where the original when he won the U.S. Open on the broken knee, that's where he thought all the injuries began. Was that he had overdone it. That is for sure.
That is for sure. Today I was at lunch at Jason's Deli. You ought to join me any day there. Also, don't forget them at dinner time at Jason's Deli. All that great food, wholesome food forever. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli with these great locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. You can always check them out online at jasonsdeli.com. All the soups, all the spreads, the cheese, the meats, the breads, all the great food, all the different salads, the chicken club salad, the Big Chef salad, chicken Caesar salad, the sandwiches, whether it's the lighter portion, and that's plenty of food, or the original portion, that's a lot of food. You better show up hungry for that. The steak po' boy, just delicious. The Reuben, Dave, you think it's the best Reuben in town.
No question.
And
that's corned beef.
I'm right there with you. The muffalettas, all the great food at Jason's Deli. It's all about choice, regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals. If you'd like to invent your own sandwich, you can do it at Jason's Deli. The salad bar, over 30 items just on the salad bar for that turbo great salad that you fix for yourself. Plenty of organic food to choose from as well. Catering anytime, anywhere. And in all these locations, you can end the meal with free ice cream. Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
And we are back in just 1 minute. When we come back, we'll be joined by Russell Copeland, our friend, to analyze the National Football League. There's a lot of games tonight and a whole season ahead of us. Russell's next on Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales, Moda must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Family Leisure is celebrating the end of summer with the appropriately titled End of Summer Liquidation Sale. You can get pools for as low as $19.99, patio furniture starting at $12.99, and swim spas, they begin at $99.99. Don't forget to ask about fast installation because there's still enough summer left to enjoy these deals during the End of Summer Liquidation Sale happening now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Wolo and Stats with you. Halfway through. Oh, we're going to talk some National Football League here in a second. I just wanted to say we were talking about how great a position the Memphis basketball beat writer
how lucky
is
we, the consumer, have been.
For the commercial appeal with all the great names. And we forgot a guy who Jason really is he's replacing Drew Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew Hill was brought in because
Quickly priced.
Mark Giannotto got the columnist
parlayed
job.
it
So
into
there's
columns.
another guy went from a beat writer and got a column.
It's been a great.
It's done a good job with that.
Football
column.
and basketball has been a great job through the years. The basketball names that we rattle through, and just a wealth of Memphis sports information, of Tigers basketball history and information. I think it'd be fun, as that gently suggested to Jason on season's eve or at some point. Get all those just to listen to them. But if you sit down with all of them, that's the classic 2 ears, 1 mouth. With all the wealth of information all those people would have, and they've been there, and they and you know how important that position is because it's for us, the consumer.
Can't wait to read it all. I really can't.
And at the core, I'm a fan.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so tonight we've got the big city showdown between the Jets and the Giants.
What do they play for? What do they play for?
For the Statue of Liberty,
the Mayor's Cup.
I can never get excited over the first exhibition game. I'm sorry. Then we got New England and Detroit. We've got the Titans and our guest's former team, or one of them, the Eagles. We got Washington and Cleveland. That, of course, the new darling of the NFL. Houston and Green Bay. The L.A. Chargers and Arizona. Oh, man, have we got a lot of football.
11 games.
How excited are you?
Hey, Russell.
Brett, Dave, how you guys doing?
We are good.
We're ready for NFL time. Are you? And I bet you were ready when you were a rookie for that first exhibition game.
Most definitely. And, just like they say, are you ready for some football? And I think you can never get tired of football. But, going back to my rookie season in 1993, you have to be able to look at it that I was on a football team that had went to 3 previous Super Bowls. And when you look at it now, close to 30 years later, you have Marv Levy, one of the best coaches of all time. You have Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer. You have Thurman Thomas, Hall of Famer. You have Andre Reed, Hall of Famer. You have Cornelius Bennett.
Bruce
you
Smith.
have so many great Bruce Smith. You have so many great players. And the first thing for me, once I was drafted, first of all, let's be honest, is that I thought I should have been drafted higher. Okay, so
sure.
Going to that football team, I'm like, hey, I'm going to a team that's been to 3 straight Super Bowls. And once I went into the mini camp, and everybody was at the mini camp after the draft, the speed of the game for me, even though you were not in pads, the first thing that stood out to me was the leadership and the speed of the game. And I just mentioned, the guys that were playing, but how everything went so fast and so smooth, and we were in shorts, and everything was just like, it was so smooth. It was like a well-oiled machine, and the leadership of Jim Kelly and how everything went. So for me, what I took from that first minicamp, it was that get into your playbook. Make sure you learn your playbook.
Mm-hmm.
And that playbook was very thick. It was like a phone book. And coming from Memphis, I was already in top shape. I was in top conditioning. So my conditioning was not going to be an issue. But I wanted to make sure that I would not miss a beat. I would not miss my assignments. And I was going to be ready to play. And that's what I took from the first minicamp. But what I'm saying is that nothing was wrong. If anything was wrong, it was repeated. It was repeated. And it just went. It just went. And everything was full speed. And just the speed of the game from just walkthroughs was just night and day from college.
And, Russell, you mentioned Jim Kelly. Of course, his stature in the NFL should be known by about anybody listening to this. But, heck, you guys back then. That was Frank Reich, wasn't it?
Frank Reich went on, and he started for the Carolina Panthers once they became a new team into the NFL, and we had Gail Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
He was an outstanding quarterback as well as the third team. But those quarterbacks was just outstanding, was just great. And we know about Frank Wright. When you look at the greatest comeback of all time, he has both. He has college when he played at Maryland.
Sure did.
He came back from a huge deficit. And when the Bills beat the Houston Oilers in 1992, I think they came back from 35 points down, and I think they won the game 38-35. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just a great organization. And for me, as a rookie coming from the University of Memphis State at that time, it was a great team for me to be able to be. I wasn't happy going to that team. I wanted to go earlier to a team where I feel like I could start in my ability. But that organization was an outstanding organization. Everything was done the way a professional is supposed to do on the field and off the field.
We had a great coach, too, in Marv Levy, who I never felt got as much due as he should have gotten.
Hall of Fame.
Exactly, David, Brett. And when I say that is that let's be honest. We judge players with championships. We judge coaches with championships. And sometimes we do not look at some of the players and some of the organizations that were almost there. And to go to 4 straight Super Bowls is a huge accomplishment. That means
Russell,
AFC.
We're so cruel to the runner-up. We are.
Exactly.
It's cruel.
Exactly. And when you look at 4 AFC championship wins, Dave and Brad, will we ever see that? I mean, we looked at Donovan McNabb, and we looked at the championships that Coach Andy Reid. But Dave, let's be honest, you and I have done numerous shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the playoffs, and when it comes to an Andy Reid coach team, what do we always say? Dave,
we do.
We say,
they won't make it
every time.
The big one.
Right.
Right?
And Andy Reid's kind of the new Marv Levy.
Exactly. So when I'm talking about Marv Levy, Dave, you just brought it up. You said he did not get his due. And I think it's because he never won a Super Bowl in those 4 straight.
I agree.
And you know what I'm saying? And we can talk about players. When you look at Michael Irvin, and if you look at statistical and you look at your stats, Michael Irvin played big in big games. In the Super Bowls, he played big. But if you look at an Andre Reed and you look at an Isaac Bruce, look at their stats. Look at what they've done. Isaac Bruce stats, and I understand there's a lot of different, intangibles that we can look at as far as the players that's coming up in the Hall of Fame. But if you look at what Isaac Bruce was able to do, and you just look at a Michael Irvin, it's not even close.
Russell, for that matter, Troy Aikman versus Jim Kelly. If Jim Kelly, if Jimmy Kelly has that Super Bowl Sunday success, I think he was better than Aikman anyway without the Super Bowl Sunday success.
If you give Jim Kelly, just let's say, guys, 2 out of the 4.
Oh,
the whole entire team would be different. Marv Levy would be looked at different. So, we'll get a chance to talk, a lot during this year, and we'll be able to reflect on what we're talking about now. And it can go into NBA, it can go to whatever you look at. But let's be honest, wins and losses and how you play in big games determines a lot of how your fans, of how everyone judges you as far as a Hall of Famer, as far as a great player, as far as a great coach. And I just think that the team that I played on, I've been out of the league now close to 30 years. And it's crazy for me to even think of that. But when I look back on my career and I look at the Steve Tasker, when I look at special teams Hall of Famers, and they talk about a special team, when I look at Bruce Smith on defense, Darryl Talley, when I look at Cornelius Bennett, when the offensive line, Ken Hull at center, I played with an outstanding team. And for me to be able to play 3rd and 4th receiver and put up some numbers, then I look at my career for my personal goals and say, it wasn't pretty bad.
Pretty well done.
For my stats.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at who you had to play with and line up with,
right,
and you look at the standards. the standards.
Let me give you two guys that almost never get remembered from those Bills teams. Defensively, Mark Kelso. Offensively, was it Don or Dan Beebe?
Don Beebe.
Those were ball players.
Hey, guys. We're living in a day and time where, some things are broken down in race or whatever. When you look at sports and you look at the military, race is not an issue. And it was so funny that he was called White Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something.
Lovingly.
I've never seen a white individual run as fast as Don Beebe. Don Beebe could fly. He could absolutely fly. He ran 4.27, 4.3 all day. And a great guy. He taught you everything you need to do. But, when I first came into the league, I would always see Don Beebe catching passes or whatever. So I wanted to see, who is these guys about? And when I saw Don Beebe in person, I said, hey, this guy can fly. Mm-hmm. He can play. So
remember the time he had the catch and his head kind of like he was standing on top of his head, and he rebounded off the field.
And that's the thing about Don Beebe. And honestly, I was able to play and start some games my rookie year because he had so many concussions. And that's time for a later conversation as sports concussions and things of that sort. But he gave his all, and he had numerous concussions. And he was one of the first players, him and Kelso, that had the double helmet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that.
And one piece would get knocked off, and you thought his head had gotten knocked off.
Right. So, I can't express the experience that I received with the Buffalo Bills and just the joy to be drafted in the NFL period, but I went to a great organization, and that's the truth, because I ended up playing for Philadelphia and I ended up playing for Green Bay, and Green Bay was another great organization. Mm-hmm. But my stints in Philadelphia and Green Bay were shortened, but Green Bay was very similar to Buffalo, but Philadelphia at that time was not a great organization, and I appreciated everything that I had received and all the leadership that I have gotten, and respected Marv Levy, Jim Kelly, and everyone that was on that team when I went to Philadelphia, and that was my next team. So
we're talking with Russell Copeland, the former Tiger, and of course
we will
every Thursday, and this time select sharing his expertise, and he watches all this stuff and analyzes. So go back to that rookie season again. The first exhibition game, you're going to get some play. All these rookies
maybe special teams
are going to get some play tonight. How nervous were you? What's that like, that first game? Because you don't really know if you're truly an NFL guy till you've really been on that field.
And you're looking across that locker room at Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and Andre Reed.
Dave, that is really a great point, and I think that is the test for every rookie, whether you are picked number one or you're picked at the end, 5th round, 6th round, or 7th round, and you want to go out and play because, let's be honest, when you play in college, how many of your games are on television unless you're playing for one of the major schools?
Well,
so
now they're all on TV. Everyone.
All on television. Every game is on television. And you are going against some of the best players. You're playing against players that you've envied, that you want to be like, and you want to put on a good showing. So every player that's a rookie coming into the game tonight, they're very nervous. But what I will say, after the first snap, after you hit, after you tackle, it becomes football. But for some players, I think there's added pressures. I think it's added pressures for when you look at your number one draft pick. Your number one draft pick and you're playing, when you look at Kyler Murray, you're like, hey, I want to put on a showing because he has a lot of pressure. But there's also a lot of pressure for players who are not a top draft pick, players that are trying not to get cut. Mm-hmm. So it's pressures for all of the rookies. And I'm looking at the game tonight. When I look at the games tonight, I'm just not looking at the top players. I'm just looking at all the players because there's players that are playing to the third and fourth quarter that you'll look at that played at Arkansas, Mississippi State, Tennessee, that played at USC, and you know the names, but guess what? There were 3rd-round picks, 4th-round picks, 5th-round picks. And for me, definitely I'm going to look at Darrell Henderson. I'm going to see what he has, when he gets a chance to play for the Rams. I'm definitely going to look for him. And also when you look at the Cowboys, they have a situation right now where Ezekiel Elliott's not playing. So definitely I'm looking at our guy, from Memphis to see how he plays tonight.
Last thing for Russell Copeland, there is a story. It's just coming out now, and the Cowboys have another little bump in the road. Dallas defensive end Robert Quinn suspended first 2 games of the season for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing drug policy. This comes after all the stuff with Ezekiel Elliott in the offseason and everything else. We know talent always wins out. Is Dallas just a home of distractions, or maybe that's a part of their problem for never getting very far here in the playoffs since the glory days? What does this mean to you?
Well, Dave, when you look at the glory days, yes, they had a lot of off-the-field issues, but they were able to win, and they were able to win championships. And that was really against the norm, because any team that wants to start an organization in the National Football League, you want to have less distractions. But we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they really haven't done anything as America's team in the past 26, 27 years. They've only won 3 playoff games in that span. Their last championship was in '96, and they've only won 3 playoff games in that span. Now, when you look at it on paper, they look like an outstanding team. When you look at Dak Prescott, his contract is up. He's been playing very well for a 4th-round draft pick. Look at Amari Cooper. Now you look at Ezekiel Elliott.
Jason Witten
back. Something to help, that offense. And you look at your defensive line. You look at your young linebackers that you have on defense. It looks like an outstanding team. But, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. How you are in the locker room and the continuity that you have and practicing every day and 2 a day, it means the world. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys now, this train could not get off from the station because you have some distractions. You have the Ezekiel Elliott distraction. And, Dave, you just now mentioned that now you have Quinn, that distraction, because now the continuity is not the same, and you're trying to pay a defensive end, which you have franchised, and now you're waiting to see how is Ezekiel Elliott contract going to play out. Mari Cooper contract has to play out, and Dak Prescott has to play out. Right now, as good as they look on paper, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes situations that happen with the Dallas Cowboys that could derail them when other teams that might not be as well talented but may have a better front office and may have their team and their business in control, like the Philadelphia Eagles. And you can look at a dark horse like the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants, which I don't think the New York Giants would do very well. But a team like a dark horse like the Washington Redskins could overcome the Dallas Cowboys because there's so many issues with the Dallas Cowboys right now, and we haven't even played the first preseason game.
He is Russell Copeland. He'll join us every Thursday
fun.
in this time slot. Looking forward to watching some games tonight and chatting with you every week, Russell. Thank you.
Prepare yourself for Super Bowl, for division winners and picks in about 2 weeks, Russell.
Definitely. We definitely will do that. Once the preseason is over with, we look at all the injuries or whatever, we'll definitely go over that. We'll all give our picks, and we'll see how it is when it comes in December, how we all play it out.
You got it. Thank you, Russell.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, buddy. This hour of the program brought to you by our title and presenting sponsor. That would be Homer Skelton Hyundai and Olive Ranch. I was there today swapping out a car. And, I just got to tell you, there's just no better product that I know of right now for the price that is out there than a Hyundai. I went on this little golf trip, as you know, and the car drives itself. This is so cool. On these new ones, stats, on the windshield in front of you, or at the lower, like when you're watching ESPN, you see the crawl on the bottom.
The bottom third Chiron, Dave.
The bottom
That's
third.
the TV
wow.
lingo for it.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm impressed that you knew that.
Thank you, Dave.
The bottom third Chiron, it's actually about a bottom fifth.
He just thinks I'm here for college football talk, doesn't he?
I just always thought it was called the ticker, but okay.
That little space on your front windshield, there's a hologram there. It tells you the speed limit, the little sign just like the speed limit. Then there's like 2 little things that show you the road, and it tells you digitally how fast you're going. But wait, if you use the navigation, you know how you always have to look at the map, and sometimes you're going, wait, was that left? And you look at the map, and now you got to look at the road, and it's too late. This thing, the hologram in front of you, is telling you which way to turn, right or left. As it happens, it'll tell you, 0.5 mile, 0.1, now make your turn. You can't mess up, and you're looking at the road at the same time. And it won't let you hit, like, if you try to move lanes and you didn't flash the signal, it, like, won't let you. You have to really tug it. It drives itself. This is why you have a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on all these new Hyundai products. I had the ultimate Santa Fe. I don't think I've ever driven a better car, ever. Any luxury car, nothing. This is incredible. And now, let's tie in Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch, first exit Mississippi's Craft Road. It's close. You go there and you get service. Well, it's like little town service. They know who you are. They know everything about your car. They take care of you, and they give you the best price. That's a part of the shopper assurance. Go ask Chris True all about that and the entire gang. They're all there. David Richardson, John Burnside. Now his brother is working there too. I'm telling you, it's family. It's Piper, who's taking care of everybody. Ray Melton, of course, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in Memphis for 11 years. This is something to behold, and this product is amazing. Homer, Skelton Hyundai, and Olive Branch, please go and see the way car business should be done. Back in just a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Hi friends, I'm Shane Stanford from Christ Church, Memphis. Here at Christ Church, we believe in Memphis and we believe in you. And every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we want to invite you to come hear a biblically based, Christ-centered message that talks about God's love for you and His guidance in your life. And also to hear an interview by amazing people who are doing incredible things for our city and our community. So don't miss us, 11 o'clock, right here on this station, every Sunday morning. I'm Shane Stanford. Remember, you matter.
You won't use Zelle to repay me for the Renaissance Fair tickets because it's not historically accurate? Wench, please. Split better. Request money with Zelle. Look for Zelle in your banking app.
Must have a bank account in the U.S. to use Zelle. Zelle is an early warning services trademark.
Volunteer for the psych department experiment, they said. Easy money, they said. Maybe they should have said, use Zelle to ask mom for the money, but next time.
Back to school better. Send money to your college kid with Zelle. Look for Zelle in your banking app.
Terms and conditions apply.
Dreaming of the coast? Wake up and run to Crab King Seafood. For the most flavored seafood and biggest plates, there's a Crab King's near you. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or the East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Top Memphis food reviews recently picked Crab King's as a winner in their top 10 category for 2019. Now you know what the King stands for in Crab King's. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab King's is #1. So don't dream of good seafood. Make the right choice the first time and every time. Make it Crab King's. Come and devour tasty snow crabs, king crabs, shrimp, salmon, catfish, calamari, and more. Enjoy Memphis' best tasting pasta with your choice of toppings. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or the East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Crab King's is open Tuesday to Sunday. Enjoy 50% off lunch portions and dollar fountain drinks and hang out with Crab King's for Friday night parties from 8 to 10. For more information, Google Crab King's Memphis or download the app for a free drink with every order. Crab King's, always a Memphis favorite.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales, Moda must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Wolochen and Brad Norsworthy.
So the theme was, if you build it, they will come. That was the movie Field of Dreams, one of the great baseball movies of all time. Didn't you love that movie?
I've never seen it, Dave.
What?
I don't go to sports movies.
You never saw Hoosiers?
Yes, on HBO, but not at the big
See
screen.
Rudy?
On HBO. And I really hardly ever go to a baseball movie because I get plenty of real baseball.
You know what? You gotta I don't feel the
I know.
dreams.
I've seen it a million times.
Feel the dreams.
I've never watched
if you
1
don't,
second.
If you don't cry, you'll cry. That's maybe.
Oh, you will.
You'll cry. I mean, it's great. It's a great movie. And
I can cry watching Batman. So I know I'd cry watching.
So this will be a gusher.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Natural?
No.
Those are the two best baseball movies of all time.
No, I haven't.
You saw the Lou Gehrig story, didn't you?
Pride of the Yankees, yeah.
Pride of the Yankees.
Little guy on TV, but I didn't go to the big screen. You know who played Bill Dickey in Pride of the Yankees, don't you? Bill Dickey. Yeah. A lot of those guys appeared as themselves.
Yeah. Well, the Field of Dreams is a little farm in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And the Yankees and the White Sox are going to play in that field that was basically built for
what kind of crap? What kind of attendance? What kind of grandstand?
They are going to put up temporary seats, 8,000. That'll be it. Can you imagine?
8,000.
Which team is giving up a home game for 8,000 seats at Field of Dreams?
There's a joke in here somewhere, Dave.
I'm not kidding.
That's a big Tuesday night crowd on the south side.
Oh, come on.
They got a commercial. Have you seen with Kevin Costner and Aaron Judge?
I haven't seen it.
It is really good. So if you got Kevin Costner and Aaron Judge in a commercial, they ain't joking.
I'm going to watch the movie before next summer. Everybody's always told me that. But you know I'm not a big movie buff.
I know that. This is the kind of movie you would love.
I'm telling you, the end of the movie, one of my best friends since we were like 3 years old, every time we watch it, we send a picture of that final scene and basically with crying emojis. I mean, it gets you.
Brett, you got to go to that movie.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll cry. I'll be glad to.
I might go with you. I'll be there.
Thank you, Dave. I knew you would be. Because and Dave, I'm going to be there for you when the banners come down.
The banners. You know, I've got you in my crunch time already.
Good.
I just want you to know.
Spell my name
You
right.
are in
Two
my
T's.
crunch
Just make
time.
sure there's two T's in there.
We are taking a quick timeout. When we come back, is it Greg Gaston?
It is, our very own.
Oh, my goodness. He is now a part
From
of the
Middays
University of
with
Memphis
Eli Savoy.
broadcast team. We'll talk about, I guess, football practice and Brady McBride saying McBye-bye. That's next.
I kind of, is this a cheap shot? This season will last longer for Greg than his last stint at the Liberty Bowl. This one will get to the end.
That's terrible.
Was that cheap?
Did you say that?
I did. I'm sorry, Greg.
That is almost as mean-spirited as what you're trying to do with me in the golf picks.
Dave, it's not me. It's the rules.
It's you.
It's an
You're the stirrer.
No,
you are.
Dave.
You know what?
It's the rules, Dave. Come on.
Dave. It's the application of rules.
Here is what John Calipari used to say. There are haters out there.
We'll go back over the newspaper?
Back in a minute.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
Spencer here with ATC Fitness. We have exciting news. All premium members of ATC Fitness now have access to our newly added hydro massage lounges. That's right, for only $25 a month, you'll have access to all 18 state-of-the-art facilities, access to tanning, and now access to the best massage unit on the market. Come in today and relax with a free demo. You deserve it. Don't forget, you can also sign up online. ATCFitness.com. ATC Fitness, exercise your right to look good.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today. Shop our aggressive lease and finance options now. Luxury is waiting at Acura of Memphis, or shop online 24/7. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch for information on breaking news, chances to win prizes, and video of all the shows. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brett Norsworthy.
Come on, Muhammad, we hit fame. We beat it with the deal, we get insane.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3 of the program. Coming up, Greg Gaston, Tim Doolin on baseball. We get a texter. He is so right.
Our mistake.
We were talking.
He did a great job
about all the incredible beat writers the University of Memphis basketball team has had from the Commercial Appeal, and we skipped over one who's now a national writer. He can do whatever he wants to. He can write whatever he wants to. That's Dan Wolkin.
Parlayed it into a big job. And Dan did a great job here covering the Tigers. It was just an omission. It was not intended. If we got any more we missed, we'll make mention of them. We sure don't want to slight anybody because it has been handled by a lot of great sports journalists. It has.
Well,
I think I've known everyone we've talked about.
Bobby Hall. Bobby Hall was the first guy, and Bobby did both football and basketball. Then Lynn Zinser got it, and then
Ron Higgins in there somewhere.
Well, what happened was, Lynn didn't think you could do both correctly, and she went to football. And that's how Ron Higgins got basketball.
Was Ron beat guy 85 at the Final Four in Lexington?
I don't know. I don't remember. That still could have been B. Hall, couldn't it?
I thought Bobby was right before that, and then he went Ole Miss in that stretch. Didn't he?
He might have.
Oh, Bobby's great, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He is terrific.
And if you've ever gotten an email from him, you know it's B. Hall.
Yeah. Well, if he's listening, he'll let us know.
And we love him. He's a big Cub fan.
Hey, smart guy. What do you expect?
And his better half, even bigger Cub fan. She loves him.
It is great that we will every Thursday in this time slot at 5 o'clock talk to Greg Gaston, who you know him from the midday show. You also know him as the sideline reporter for the University of Memphis football.
We're happy as heck from him. Greg, I already owe you an apology. First day, I got in a cheap shot at the end of the last hour.
It was terrible.
I didn't rip you. I said,
Greg was awful.
Greg, I guarantee you.
What did you say, Brad?
I said, I guarantee you this job at the Liberty Bowl will last longer than the last one you had. So I said it, and my mouth got ahead of me before I could reel it back in. So this is how we start, Greg.
Oh, geez. Well, you know what? From you, Brett, I'll accept it. Other people, I'd say that's a cheap shot, but you're a buddy, so I'm fine.
I'm happy as heck for you, and I know what a great job you'll do, like you did.
I will say
and Russell
this, though,
did with Express.
If anything like that occurs, then we know it's Gaston.
Yeah, that's right. If the plug gets pulled on the season, Greg, we're coming after you.
Well, hopefully it won't. Look, I'm really looking forward to it, and thanks for the kind words. And Wolo, looking forward to getting to work with you again. We kind of sparingly throughout our careers got a chance to work with each other, so I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be fun, and it starts with a big one. It starts with news today. There's breaking Tiger football news.
Third Tiger quarterback in 2 years and change now, that they have lost somebody to the transfer portal, and he's a quarterback. First Brady Davis, then David Moore, and now Brady McBride. Wow.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, guys, because I've been contacting people today to try to get information. I know Christian Fowler had originally broke the story, and then it was in the CA, and trying to see if we can get a little more information. I'm going to try to actually get over to practice after we speak, because I'm going to see if Mike's going to have anything extensive to say about it. But here's what's a little confusing to me. We know it's been some time now since the NCAA granted the extra year of eligibility for Brady White. So we know that Brady White has 2 more years, this season and another season. So if Brady McBride, and again, this is just speculation, if Brady McBride looked at that and said, wait a minute, I'm not going to hang around for 2 more years and play under Brady White, then you would think that he would have already made that decision to leave and to enter the transfer portal. But camp starts, he's at camp for the first 3 days, and then yesterday doesn't show up when they go to the full pads. So I don't know if it's something as simple as that, or another opportunity came up. He knew that he would be playing behind Brady White. And the other thing could possibly be that Mike Norvell has actually spoken to these quarterbacks and told them where they stand, and who knows if maybe Connor Adair or the
Markel
other young man, Marcavian Quinn, possibly passed them, or we don't know yet. Like I said, it's only speculation, but I think the timing's a little bit strange.
Greg, I so agree, and usually those conversations are more of a May conversation after spring football, around graduation for the ones that are doing that, and before everybody reports back Memorial Weekend. There's a lot. Look, let's be honest. There are cuts in college football, and they call them in and go, look, I think you need to go somewhere else, and I'll help you transfer there. But now with this epidemic of transfers, and I know we visited about it at SEC Media Days, kind of who started this, and I don't know if we can blame anybody. I threw out Jake Heap at BYU. He played for 3 teams like in 4 years, and now that's sadly becoming the norm for a lot of people. It just wouldn't shock me. I mean, truly, if tomorrow, breaking news, Tua Tagovailoa is moving on from Alabama, it wouldn't shock me.
It is the way it is right now in college sports, not just in football and basketball as well. It was just a short time ago, Wolo, we had the Brady bunch with 3 Bradys at quarterback, and now we're down to 1. So, look, I understand to a certain extent. I know that it's a different age that we live in. When we were younger, guys would compete, and if they got beat out, they would keep competing, and then hope to get their opportunity. Now, most of the time, if somebody is beaten out for a job, they'll move on and look at other opportunities. So I don't begrudge him, but again, I don't know the exact details because, like you said, Brett, you would think coming out of spring, you know the situation. Look, this year you knew the situation. Sure. Brady White's the starting quarterback.
For sure.
Last year, we didn't know 100% until Mike Norvell said, but at least he said there was a competition going on in camp. There was no word that this was going to be an open competition. We all know it's Brady White's job. So, again, that he's known that Brady White's going to get that second or 1 more year after next season, this upcoming season of eligibility. Why would you wait until after you've already started camp to decide to do that?
Well, my sense is Mike loves Brady White. He was the reason he went to Arizona State.
Right.
And he loves the family. He loves the kid. He loves him as a player, and he's comfortable knowing that this kid knows his offense. I am not going to tell you that I think it was totally solid coming into camp here or watching them this summer when they were working out, although he can't watch them.
I thought it should have been a quarterback competition.
But Quinn is a kid that brings different tools and can throw the football. They do have a kid that's coming in who was a 3-star from the state of Louisiana next year.
Sheldon Lehman.
Adair is a guy. If there's an injury, I think he can come in and help you out. This wasn't as solid coming in as David Moore might have been. I thought last year really was going to be a battle, and David Moore lost, and David Moore saw the writing on the wall. Maybe he saw Brady McBride too, because I remember that conversation. I'm a little surprised at this because of the timing, but it could also be very evident. He got the extra year, and they started camp, and he could have fallen to 3rd behind Quinn, and he's going, I'm never going to play, and I want to play.
Right.
I'm a coach's son. These guys like me. I can always come back and be a coach for them someday, but I want to play. And, there's the difference in the quarterback position and the running back and the wide receiver and the DB and the linebacker, even the defensive lineman position. There's only one, and it's not rotated. So you got one guy. And if that guy is going to be the guy for the next 2 years, really 3, you didn't have a chance. And I don't blame a kid for he knows he's not going to have a chance to play, and he wants to play.
No, I think that's a good point. That's why I said moments ago that I can't begrudge a guy for doing that. Let me correct myself. Sheldon Lehman is the freshman on the team right now that'll probably be redshirted, who's the kid from Mobile, Alabama.
Right.
So that's one of the quarterbacks. But, yeah, I think your point's well taken, Wolo. And with Quinn, a guy who brings a different dimension, or at least an added dimension, the ability to run, 6'3", 195, they'll probably have some sort of a package for him. And if you're Brady McBride, you're sitting there going, wait a minute. There's Brady White. He's got 2 more years. They're probably going to use Quinn at times. Where does this leave me? And maybe Connor Adair is breathing right down his back as well. So it's understandable. You have a limited amount of time to play college ball. You want to be on the field. I like the competitiveness of these guys, that they want to play. They don't want to just sit behind somebody.
I do too.
Get their scholarship, get their degree, and be on a football team. They want to actually play. So I do appreciate that, but it is an epidemic, to be honest with you. Like, we get back to what you said, Stats. There's no question that it's just crazy, and it wouldn't be shocking if anybody moved on to another school.
Anywhere. Tomorrow at Ole Miss, if Matt Corral got unhappy, at Keaton Thompson got unhappy at State, one of those 2 guys at Arkansas, Hicks or
Right.
Sparkle, heck, it could become so epidemic that somewhere it gets hit by 2, and look what you be in. And think what it's done to roster composition now. Used to coaches, all right, let's recruit a quarterback this year and maybe in 2 more years sign one, and keep kind of 3 on a roster. But now you've got to go sign a quarterback every year, maybe 2. All right, you chew up that scholarship for that second quarterback in a class. Well, maybe you miss out on your nose guard you really needed.
But here's the thing too with the quarterbacks, as Dave said. You only got 1 quarterback position out there. It's not like having 5 offensive linemen where guys are battling to be a part of that. You got 1 quarterback. But we have seen seasons at the University of Memphis. You know this, Wolo, better than anybody, where 3 quarterbacks went down, and they were desperate for another. You need solid backups, God forbid if there's an injury.
Well, I agree.
Right?
I agree 100%. I think all you have to do is point last year. I think there were times in football games, whether it was injury or just ineffectiveness, where I think David Moore could have come in and relieved Brady White and would have gotten a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And the first game that comes to my mind is Tulane, where that was not Brady White's finest moment. And sometimes it helps to have a guy, if you're a coach, come back and spur the other guy on a little bit or whatever. And so that's the one thing that worries me here, unless, and you'll find out more, we'll see what Mike's got to say. We'll watch the way camp plays out. But this kid Quinn, a lot of people think he's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I think it's hard to try to tell a kid, hey, listen, you're going to be the backup, and in case our number 1 goes down, you're right there. You're God forbid, you're a hamstring away from coming into the game. Kids aren't buying that in this day and age. They don't want to be told that. They want to know that they're going to battle for the job, and they think they're going to be able to battle for it every year. But there's no question, going back to what you had said earlier, Wolo, this was Mike's guy. That's why he brought him here from Arizona State. What do you think is happening in Mississippi State with Joe Moorhead? I mean, does anybody think Tommy Stevens is not going to start?
Right, exactly. He's coming down here for a reason.
With these guys.
Yeah, I mean, he's moving up literally across the country. Same as, at some point, if he can get the offense down, I think Nick Starkel will be the guy at Arkansas. Same reason. They don't get him to transfer to have them watch most of the time. Greg, you've been here since the 95 or 96 football season. You got here.
I came here Thanksgiving 95.
Okay.
So right towards the end of the season.
So football season of 96. From that time, over all these years, now 23 years in this market, covering the Tigers very closely, doing games on TV packages and always around the program. My, hadn't it come a million miles?
Wow. It's shocking. Day and night, the difference between the program, the money they put in the program, the commitment they put in the program, even from the Tommy West days, and we all know about his great speech, the exit speech, where they were finally able to crack that long drought of getting to a bowl game, yet they knew that to keep up with the Joneses, they had to put money and put a commitment into the football program, and it wasn't there. But if you go back to when I got here, there certainly wasn't a lot of money put in the program. There wasn't a lot of interest. They had the amazing upset win over Tennessee, which is still resonates with people today. But those were the days when Rip Shearer was a good friend. Once in a while, we'll have him on the show. And well, I'm not sure if you stay in touch, but the Ripper, those were games when it was 10-3. Mm-hmm. It was 13-6. There was no scoring. It was just boring football. And we've come a long way. And now all of a sudden, Memphis is looked at as a legitimate team. Unfortunately, there's a separation between Power 5, Group of 5, as you guys know. But at least they're towards the top of that Group of 5, and they're well respected. And when you have Fuente followed by Norvell, you get two really good coaches in a row, and it's invigorated the city. There's no question about it that people care a lot more about Tiger football today than they did back in the day.
Oh, no doubt. And really, the whole thing took a turn with Justin. I think Fuente really deserves all the credit in the world because he changed the culture. And he did use, and I have been very guilty of ripping Larry Porter because Larry is the worst coach that in terms of leading and understanding X's and O's a football team at any level that I've ever seen. And I like Larry. I really did. I liked doing the show with him, but Larry was paranoid, and I think part of that was he trusted no one because he didn't want anybody to see. He didn't know what the heck he was doing. I really honestly believe that. But he was good at one thing, which I think keeps him in the business. And he's still in the business, and he could recruit.
Mm-hmm. He's at Auburn.
And he got players that Fuente used, including the walk-ons. I mean, let's face it. Miller was brought here by Larry Porter. That's a walk-on. The
Affetti, Terry Redden, they were here.
Alan Cross. I was trying to think of Alan Cross. He came because of Porter. So
he not only got those players. He was able to get the Division I, big time Power 5 school transfers, the ones that something happened there, and he started that trend, and then Justin continued with that. Now Mike's still doing it too. And you never know when you have a diamond in the rough. Mike's got some guys right now ready to contribute this year, a guy from Louisville, a guy from Auburn, so why not? But Larry started that.
No, he did. And so Larry could recruit. But you have to change the culture. And people here had no expectations to win. They just wanted to go out and play and have fun, and there was not a sense of dedication or discipline. And that all changed under Fuente. So I really give him a lot of that credit. And then Mike has made it even more fun because Mike's teams can score with a flair. If Adam Fuller can get this defense to be as aggressive but not yield as many yards as Chris Ball's, and the offense scores like they did, this could be a great combination. I believe after watching the spring game that the defense is going to be better. And let's face it, that defense was so riddled with injuries that a lot of these guys now that are sophomores or juniors, they've played a lot. And so they're really experienced.
Yeah, they got baptized.
They have depth.
Yeah.
They've never had depth. They have depth now defensively. They brought in some junior college guys that expect to contribute right away. As you said, Wolo, they have guys coming back from injuries. So they have depth. And last year, 2 years ago, it was a team that just, man, oh man, they were just getting burned left and right defensively. Last year, they got burned a lot, but it was usually a big play, but then they would have a couple of good series. So there was the ability to do so. Now you have a whole new DC, so it's a whole different deal, how Adam Fuller wants to run his defense, but at least they have experienced players now who have been through they've been into the trenches, they've been through the wars, and hopefully as a collective unit, they can come together.
It's going to be a lot of fun, starting with that first game. And if they are able to win that first game, it could be a very nice little streak going here.
And do you guys like the fact that they're starting off with a team like Ole Miss?
I love it. I love this as the opener. I love it.
I do too.
I've said this now for a long time. I think it's a true advantage to a Group of 5 school to play a Power 5 school in the first game, because most of the time, good Group of 5 schools have good number ones, and then the talent drop off is pretty immense. In game ones, most of your number ones are still around; they haven't been hurt yet. So it's the best time.
I
if
love
I
this
were a
opener 'cause
Power
it's
5
what
school,
I grew up on.
Me too. If I were a Power 5 school, I could see why we'd say. And they have what is it, game 8 now or 9? Where that's
Cupcake
the new
week.
That's the new Cupcake week.
But the Tigers would never be that. But the FCS week, the week before the big rival weekend, the week before Thanksgiving, that's bad. Greg, it'll be fun all year talking Tigers with you on Thursday, and we love listening to you every day, 10 A to 1 P with Eli. Thank you, man.
Guys, thank you so much. Glad to be a part of it.
Hey, let us know what Norvell says.
Okay.
You got it. Thanks, Greg Gaston.
Greg Gaston with us this hour every day, brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. They specialize in late model cars with low mileage, very high standards at DeSoto Auto Sales. All the cars test driven, all checked out head to toe, all checked out literally bumper to bumper, all points in between. Unlimited inventory at DeSoto Auto Sales. If it's not on the lot, they will go out and find it for you. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales, where you're treated like family by kind, courteous employees. Down-home environment at DeSoto Auto Sales, laid-back atmosphere, no high-pressure sales, but they do want you to have the ultimate car experience, and that means coming in, finding the car you want, test driving it, get the paperwork, credit approved, whatever you need to do, and you're gone in about 45 minutes. Check out the referrals at DeSotoAutosales.com, 5704 Goodman Road. Come on down to DeSoto County. They're proud to be serving DeSoto County and the surrounding area. To DeSoto Auto Sales, 662-890-7184. Come on down for that town and country experience on Goodman Road at DeSoto Auto Sales.
So I try to go back in my memory banks since I arrived here in 1981 to pick out all the Memphis commercial appeal beat writers. So here's what I got. Starting with Bobby Hall. He was definitely there at that time, doing both football and basketball. Then I want to say Lynn Zinser, and then Ron Higgins, and then Mike DeCourcy, and then Zach McMillan, and then either Gary Parrish or Dan Wolken. I can't remember which came first. And then there may be somebody missing between Wolken. I already had Zach and McMillan. I think he was right after Mike DeCourcy. I'm almost certain of that.
I think so.
Then it was Parrish or Wolken. Who was after them, though? Because then I got Mark Giannotto and Drew Hill. Jason Smith. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think you got Lynn a little earlier than she was. I thought she was more toward late 80s, early 90s.
She was there for Chuck Stobart. She might have been there for the end of Charlie Bailey, but she was there for Chuck Stobart.
For football. But when she went over to the basketball beat.
That would have been early 90s because that's when Penny was playing.
Yeah. That's what I remembered it is. And she left there to go, to the Philadelphia Inquirer and then later to the New York Times?
Yeah, I think that's – did she go to the Philadelphia first? I thought she went straight to New York.
Mike left here to go to Cincinnati Post.
Cincinnati Inquirer.
And then to Sporting News.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty short after that.
And then, we know where Gary is. Yeah. We know where Dan Wolken is. Zach McMillan actually got this incredible deal to go, I think it was the University of Michigan, on a Fulbright scholarship.
On a writing program.
Which was, and then came back for a little bit. And now he's with St. Jude and Allsack. We know where Mark Giannotto is. We know where Drew Hill is. So that's 10 guys. 10 guys.
It's to a lot of stardom and a lot of sports hump.
There is not anybody at this point that I look at that list that didn't go on to
things just didn't work out
a better job.
That's right.
I mean, think about that. That's a little like Murray State basketball.
Well, let me be a little more diplomatic. For not a single person on that list was it a career ender.
No,
it was the beginner.
It was a career builder.
Yeah, builder. It sure was.
It was.
Ron Higgins, he will tell you he thinks he had as much fun around those times. It was wild and woolly times.
Right.
And I think he was on the 85 beat.
But Ron, even though I know he loved that Memphis basketball beat, he always, because he grew up.
Football was always calling.
And it was always SEC.
Wasn't he on the Showboat beat right before that?
He was. That's how he got here.
Yeah.
That I know.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget it.
First time
I had at Georgetown with him and Paul Hartledge.
Oh, you were out of your weight class with those two.
Oh, absolutely.
Most of us were.
Well, no doubt. Nobody was, well, let's put it like this.
Paul was a weight class of his own.
Nobody was in Paul Hartley's
He was in the super, mega, international, terrestrial weight class.
Yeah, not even in your heyday.
No,
could keep up with him.
Or as he would say, I've spilled more than you've consumed.
Yeah. that is probably true.
Oh, Paul could hurt you.
Oh, believe me,
he could hurt you meeting you after work for a drink.
I know.
Paul would hurt you.
This won't hurt you. This is good news. It is time to tee it up at Edwin Watts this year because the new 19 fall arrivals are introducing the strikingly new T-Series irons from Titleist, featuring the T100 iron that's designed as a player's iron for precise performance. The T200 iron is a player's iron for added distance, and the T300 iron, that's the complete game improvement iron. All pure Titleist. Let them help you find the right set, and you can get your free custom fitting if you head on over to Edwin Watts today. Just a few of the exciting new fall releases you'll find at Edwin Watts Golf Shop's home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. You could visit any of their 6 locations and check out the new T100, the 2T100, and the 300 series from Titleist. Edwin Watts, really around here, there's just the one. That's the corner of Poplar and Perkins Extended, although they are moving in a few months, but you got a little wait. See you at Edwin Watts. Back in just a minute. We'll talk some baseball with Timmy Doolin. He's next on Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
At Sunrise on Jefferson, there are meals for every appetite, and sometimes you really have an appetite. That's when the plates come in. If you really want to fuel up, have the kitchen sink. 2 eggs prepared any way you like. Sausage, bacon, hash browns, biscuit, and Hannah Farm grits. Now that's a meal. Sunrise also has the best omelet. Look at the menu, it says it right there. The best omelet, and it's true. Spinach, artichoke, tomato, goat cheese, and salsa verde. If you're ready to fill up on breakfast, you're ready for Sunrise.
Hey, Mid-South hunters and fishermen, the Duck, Buck, and Bass Sportsman Expo is coming to the Agri Center in Memphis August 9th through the 11th. Now, Friday is happy hour with beer and brats. Saturday and Sunday see special guest T-Bone from the hit TV show Bone Collector. Also see Frank Addington and his amazing archery show on stage all weekend. Watch Frank hit an aspirin as it's thrown in the air while shooting his bow behind his back. Plus, there's door prizes and giveaways all weekend. Win a $250 shopping spree to Final Flight Outfitters or a trail camera that sends text photos from Sniper Hunting Products. There is also a 3-day hunt of a lifetime from Trophy Club Outfitter of Indiana and a family 4-pack to the Talladega Speedway. And be sure to see the Sherp. It's the most ultimate ATV ever created, and they say that it's never been stuck. It's the Duck, Buck, and Bass Sportsman's Expo, August 9th through the 11th at the Agri Center in Memphis. Go to duckbuckandbassexpo.com for all the info. And remember, hunting and fishing, it's who we are.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infiniti of Memphis, and we've got a new Infiniti crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infiniti has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
Here once again
are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Final half hour of this Thursday edition. Have you been told you might need your hip, your knee, your shoulder replaced? You just can't quite commit to going through with the surgery? I get that part. Maybe you're worried about the recovery process. You don't like going to the hospital. You don't think you'll be able to get back to the things that you enjoy after it. Put joint pain on the sideline. Please call the experts at Campbell Clinic. They are your joint experts. They now do same-day hip and knee replacement in their 2 surgery centers. You can walk in with pain at 7 a.m. You're home feeling better in lunchtime. It's that easy. I'm not kidding. Recovery in the comfort of home. You'll be back in your garden, on the golf course, in the gym in just a few weeks. It's really that simple now. I've never heard someone say they regretted having their hip or their knee replaced by the doctors at Campbell Clinic, and that's a fact. They always say they wish they'd have done it years earlier. Of course, the new technology helps a long way, and that's another great thing about the docs at Campbell Clinic. They always know the latest. Campbell Clinic, 5 convenient locations to end your nagging joint pain once and for all. Call them, 901-759-3111, or you can schedule an appointment online at campbellclinic.com. Not necessarily is it surgery, but Austin Riley in a weird injury in a weight room on the road in Minnesota. The Braves rookie torn LCL will need surgery done for the year. Tim, did you ever, like on game days, do heavy lifting?
No, and I don't think he was doing heavy lifting. But it's very unfortunate, obviously, and the Braves, although they're remaining in first place, they've had, I'm sure, more injuries as of late than they would want to have had, and now they're going to have to hope some of the guys that they've called up continue to stay hot, and they get some of their guys healthy that are going to be able to be rehabbed and get back on the field. But Austin's very surgery and do okay.
Yeah, and Tim, for the Braves, 5 clear. In the loss column, I think they're fine for, at minimum, a spot in the postseason, and probably, I think, pretty decided favorite to hang on in the East. But you don't ever want this at this point in that East that could get competitive with the Phillies now in the mix for the wild card. Who's not in the mix for the National League wild card? Here come the Mets as well.
Well, here come the Mets. I mean, they've played as good as and as hot as anybody has. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about Mickey Callaway trying to hang on and keep his job, and now all of a sudden, these guys are playing really, really good baseball, and they've got a lot of energy, and obviously they've got some really good young players. And I think heard today that they're trying to solidify picking up, I think, Panic from the Giants.
That'd be good.
Which I think would really help him defensively, obviously, with Cano being on the shelf.
Do you think Callaway saved his job?
Well, I think it's hard to say. I think the unique dynamic in that whole situation is that when Brody came in to become their general manager, he inherited Mickey Callaway as his manager. I think time will tell. I think he's going to have to continue to make a good run on this in these next 6 weeks. I think if they get close to the wild card, I think he's got an outside shot of keeping his job. If they don't, I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you.
Cubs have a 3-game lead in the National League Central. They are now 22 games over 500 at home. Best in the National League, by the way. They are 12 games under 500. Worst in the National League, by the way, on the road. Some people have said to me, these are, in my mind, crazy people, but some have said to me, when you lose on the road like that, that comes down to managing. These are guys that are trying to basically say that Joe Maddon's got to go, which to me would be the craziest thing ever. Tell me, what do you think is happening with Chicago that they could be that good at home and that bad on the road? And do you attribute road losses to managers?
Well, on the latter comment, absolutely not. I'm sure the people that are making those comments never managed the game at any level, but yet they're the first to throw that out there. I think it's just, I think we can look at all these stats over the years and all that. I don't know that you can point to a reason why they play better at home than they do on the road. Obviously, you're at home. You're staying in your own apartment or townhouse or condo or house or whatever it is. On the road, it's, even though travel is tough at times and long road trips become difficult, but I think you look at the overall picture, because once you get in the playoffs, I mean, it's, you're not on the road that much, So I can assure you they don't put pressure on themselves. Players don't, managers don't, when they go on the road and say, oh, we've got to cool these prognosticators down and show them we're good on the road. I think they're going out every day to try to win a baseball game and try to continue to push and get, continue their lead in that division.
Tim, help me out here. A lot of my fandom's getting ready to come out. I don't know who I'm the most mad at with the Cardinals. I know who I'm least mad at. It's Mike Schilt. I think he got handed a whole lot of junk, a whole lot of nothing. But I don't know who I'm most mad at. Carlos Martinez, Michael Wacha, Matt Carpenter, Dexter Fowler, John Mozeliak, Bill DeWitt Jr. or Bill DeWitt Sr.
There's a long list there, Chad.
You tell me. And my disdain for not my disdain, my contempt right now, my anger right now at the DeWitts, when I go up and I see still the ongoing Ballpark Village complex at some point finish the darn ballpark, I see them invested in and worried about a lot of things other than things between the lines.
Oh, I'll warrant your concern, and I think I mentioned it a month ago. When you look at that club, and we were talking about the trade deadline, there's not a lot there to trade. You're not going to trade Carpenter. No one's going to invest in that contract when he's on the downside. He's almost a liability defensively. You can't hide him at third. He doesn't have the arm strength. Second base, he doesn't have the range. You could play him at first every now and then. Obviously you don't have a DH in the National League. And they've got some good, solid major league players. They don't have a legitimate superstar that can help carry them when things are going bad. And that's the one problem you got. You can't say Yadi Molina is an MVP candidate type of guy offensively. He's invaluable defensively. Mm-hmm. He's invaluable calling a game. That's obvious. He's a captain versus an MVP. And so they didn't make any moves at the All-Star break, and their pitching has been suspect, to say the least. They can't close games out. The other night they lost in a walk-off to the Dodgers. So they've got issues, there's no question, and they're going to have to try to turn the corner and try to stay in this playoff race and then definitely in the wild card race.
Tim, I'm a little mad at you over the Cardinals. I don't know why I'm just that mad at everybody. I'm sorry.
Get in line, bro.
If you want to be mad at me, it's a long line.
I think, in my mind, the most blame on this should go to John Mazilak. I've been saying for 3 years
the construction
now,
of this team, it's just a mess.
I don't.
Well,
and
yeah,
it used to be
I
in Mo
agree
We Trust. I'm way off that.
Yeah, I think you're off that. And again, you don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to take the blame off of Mo, but you don't know if Mo's gone to DeWitt and said, "Hey, we need to make this move. We need to go get this guy.
That's fair.
This free agent." You just don't know.
Now, Tim, this is not the part of the segment you're supposed to be fair in. I told you I was leading with my chin in fandom here.
I understand. Wolo's loving it. That
he is.
I know.
I'm loving it, but I'm worried because the Cubs do have to play a lot of games on the road still, and they can't seem, and they have trouble with Cincinnati, who they're playing tonight.
The Cubs will have a chance to put this away before those late September games.
Well, I can assure you, they're gonna try to put the pedal to the metal right now while they got people squabbling and concerned.
Okay, great. It's easy to say that, but then they lose their all-star catcher for a month. Who knows how long Kimbrel, and they signed this guy for 3 years. He's got knee inflammation.
He's been good.
That could be a problem. I'll tell you this. What he's done is amazing because he has won, 9 of the 10 save chances he had in a Cubs uniform? But you see what his ERA is? His ERA is 5.41.
Yeah, but kind of for those closers, though, one bad outing can really blow up an ERA.
You're
right. A few.
Yeah,
right.
Two sure can do it. It can get it up there to a punting average.
Would you rather him have like a 2 ERA with 3 saves?
No,
I don't think so.
I like the 9 saves. I go with you there. What do you think about the Yankees and the White Sox plans to play where the movie Field of Dreams was shot at that farm? They built that stadium. They're going to bring in 8,000 seats. That's got to be a White Sox home game, right? Because that's closer to Chicago. Although the Cubs have the farm team in Iowa.
Yeah, but for a long time, the White Sox had the Oaks, didn't they? Didn't Bucky Dent come through the White Sox system there? Late 70s?
That's before my time.
Okay.
I played in Iowa.
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember the White Sox ever being in Iowa.
Okay, maybe
not. No, the White Sox weren't. The Cubs were.
Yeah,
they were in
Cubs,
Des Moines.
Cubs are still there.
Yeah,
but
I think it's a good idea. If you're asking, I think it's good for. I just think it's good for baseball to be diverse, to play in other markets. They're playing a game at the Little League World Series. They played the game. They play the Hall of Fame game. I just think it's good. I think as long as the players are comfortable with the setting and the playing surface is of.
Nope, I think we're losing. Okay.
I do wish that they would invest in some of the development thing.
Tim, wherever you are, you got to stop. Next time we get I think we can hear you now. Don't move.
I'm sorry. I'm en route to San Diego, so I apologize.
Well, I knew it was somewhere. I'm sort of in your camp. I don't mind the different things. I mean, I think it's weird the White Sox are giving up a home game to play in front of 8,000 people. And by the way, the Yankees are a draw wherever they go, and they would sell that game out in Chicago. So that I don't know how that one works out, but I don't mind that. The one thing I do think is weird, they're doing this. Is it later? I think it's next year too, where they're going to do black and white, only black and white uniforms. One team, maybe it's the home team in white and the road team in black, and it doesn't matter what your color is. Did you see that? Team colors aren't going to matter.
I didn't know that till today, Tim.
I had no clue.
And I was right. 1976 to 80, AAA affiliate for the White Sox, the Iowa Oaks.
Wow.
That's how they got Bucky. That's how the Yankees got Bucky Dent.
Holy cow.
Good job. I did not remember them being in Iowa. Of course.
Well, are we surprised at that?
Well, Tim,
are we surprised that I wouldn't remember and that he knows and remembers everything? No, we're not.
I rallied a little bit after just pure fandom.
Well, I think after your worries affected your mental capacity,
even blaming you,
back with a positive.
Yeah, I had to rally.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Tim. We'll do it again next Thursday. Thanks, man.
All right, guys.
You got
safe travels. This portion of the show brought to you by Ken Garland. Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders. Folks, there is a guy that has a rare quality. He sees little details and big picture all at once. And he's like Brett, he remembers everything. But it's the seeing little things and figuring things out. He's a complete design and build firm. And if you go to kengarland.com and you look at all the stuff that he has been able to build around this community for the last 40 years, he and his dad, you would be amazed. And that includes renovation. He takes all, I call it renovation with innovation. He takes all of the new technology, puts it in an old home. It becomes a modern palace. If you're looking for land, he's got it. If you're looking to figure out what to do with the land that you already own, he knows it. All you got to do is call 751-1632. Again, go to the kengarland.com site, just so you know, then get the consultation and know he's there with you all the time. He doesn't send a super or a foreman. He's on the job all the time. That's why he's been around 40 years. Ken Garland, Custom Home Builders.
Dave, I know you remember this. I want to say, and I hadn't looked this up, I want to say Iowa then. You remember the American Association? Mm-hmm. Did we have the PCL then?
Yeah, I think so.
And the internet. So we had three. I didn't realize. But, sporting news back then, if you got
every box score of every game.
If you got it for no other reason, for all those box scores, and to keep up with, these kind of far away outposts. That, Hawaii had a AAA team back then, to keep up with those.
I guess it doesn't, they don't do that anymore, do they?
No. But back then.
But think of it,
was mostly a baseball magazine.
You could go to any baseball team's website and see what they did.
Oh, it's so easy to now, but you don't have it kind of all at one place. Well, you really do when you go to the minorleaguebaseball.com.
You do. You got one place.
Yeah.
Which is your computer in your den.
Yeah, your
or
phone.
Office or your phone.
Just don't text and drive and go and do all that while you're driving.
And then you can ask Siri. Yeah. Siri, what did Bucky Dent do?
She knows it all. Siri knows Iowa Oak 6.
That's for sure. Back in a minute, we put a wrap on the show. We got crunch time and some other little twists and turns. That's next on Sportstime with Wolo and Stats.
Get happy with Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Weekday afternoons from 1 till 3 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Family Leisure is celebrating the end of summer with the appropriately titled End of Summer Liquidation Sale. You can get pools for as low as $19.99, patio furniture starting at $12.99, and swim spas, they begin at $99.99. Don't forget to ask about fast installation because there's still enough summer left to enjoy these deals during the End of Summer Liquidation Sale happening now at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together. Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro Wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales, modem must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Bottle portion of the show. Crunch time coming your way in a minute. Bad day for Tiger Woods. First competitive round since missing the cut at the Open did not go well. He opened the playoffs today with a 4 over 75 and staring at yet another missed cut. That is certainly not good news. Troy Merritt was terrific today. Shot a 62. That's 9 under. Dustin Johnson, 8 under. Kevin Kisner, John Rahm. Is he starting to make his move? He might be. Tony Finau, Webb Simpson.
He loved playing here.
Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose. They are at 6 under. Patrick Reed, Max Homa, Ches Reavie, Danny Willett. All of a sudden, he's starting to play. He's at
Danny
5
Willett had
under.
a comeback year this year. He had gotten lost in witness protection.
He did. Man, a lot of guys that were under par. In fact, just let me look to see this real quick. Oh, my gosh. 81 guys under par today. And Tiger was 4 over. 81 guys under par, and he's 4 over. Wow. Crunch time.
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time. You are looking live. It's crunch time. In your life, have you seen anything like that?
We'll take questions again for the student athletes at this time, please.
He's a professional. He's pretty classy for his age.
You know, crunch time, that's the frustrating part. Little Penny could make some appearances this year.
Okay, I'm not huge into stats.
Has it always been this way?
It's crunch time, so I got a different mind state.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
Is this thing working?
Immediately when the buzzer sounds, he lets out this shriek.
You throw those ears for him, and he was in stroke mode.
It's obviously crunch time.
Time for Taco Bell Crunch Time. Taco Bell, home of the crispy tortilla chips, topped with a double portion of either seasoned beef or shredded chicken, plus refried beans, nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, guacamole, and a 3-cheese blend. Nachos Bel Grande, heaping portion of chips, topped with ground beef, tomatoes, beans, nacho cheese sauce, and a dollop of sour cream. Taco Bell, home to great food you get on your way home real fast, and they bring you crunch time every day. What'd you learn today, Dave?
Well, I learned Jason Muntz is the new beat writer for the Tigers college basketball team, and I'm really happy for him because we read a list of 10 guys that have all gone on to better jobs
and gals
and gal. And that is pretty impressive. And by the way, I learned that when I left on my little golf vacation, the Cubs were actually a game behind in the National League Central. Now they're up by 3. I just wanted you to make sure you knew that.
I thought you'd be here for us. You did it while you were away. I thought you'd be here. I needed you here.
Oh, well, I'm here now.
I learned since 2001, only one quarterback has at least 22 touchdowns passing and 6 touchdowns rushing in consecutive seasons. That's Dak Prescott. That's why he's getting ready to get that big contract. They found him a quarterback. What is it you could have done without?
I really could have done without the pettiness of, I guess, a golf committee on golf picks.
Petty?
It's a game that is constructed with rules, Dave.
It is just
Dave, it is a gentleman's game.
We call our own fouls.
It is amazing to me.
Drew, what's a little bit out of bounds?
A little bit out of bounds. A lot out of bounds. It's still out of bounds.
It's out of bounds. If it's 1.5 feet, is it out of bounds?
It is out of bounds.
If it's 200 yards,
you know what is
out of bounds?
You know what's out of bounds? Is the fact that you can't take a guy who was like $4 or $5 million down and now is looking at the view from the top, and that is very troublesome. Very, very troublesome.
Last time I checked, rules were rules, Dave.
Me too. Where is 6 under?
Justin Rose?
Rory.
Same as Justin Rose, 6 under.
Okay. What is Billy Horschel, the guy with my egregious move?
Well,
what did he shoot today?
I didn't mind you breaking the rules because I knew banners would come down, and I also said let him have him because he's not making the cut.
You told me to take him. He's 1 over.
He
shot
over.
3 better. He shot the same as Phil Mickelson did, and he
T92.
shot 3 better than
John Gordon with an interesting take a few days ago about it may be time to move on from Tiger and Phil. in golf. I could have done without Cardinals against the good teams. I called it 3-8 and 0-5 in California against Oakland and the Dodgers. The Cubs really should separate themselves from Milwaukee and St. Louis. St. Louis could finish in last. Look out for the Reds. I think they're on the way. Keeping a close eye tonight on Daniel Jones from Duke in his Giants debut. How much will Dwayne Haskins play for Washington versus defending Super Bowl champ, the Cleveland Browns, right? They won it last year, didn't they? All this summertime love is because they won it last year? They did, right?
They won 7 games last year.
I want to keep an eye on the 2019 disaster that continues for Chris Sale and the Red Sox tonight. They're at home at Fenway against the Angels. Dallas Keuchel trying to get in a good groove for the Braves. And I'll also keep an eye on all things Tiger from Liberty National. I hope no WD.
He won't WD. He's just not going to make the cut.
What are you keeping an eye on tonight?
I'm keeping an eye on Cubs and Reds. That's critical for that momentum. And then there are, I don't know how many games we can get on regular TV today of the NFL.
Well, tonight NFL Network pays for itself because they'll either carry a game and or bounce around at a lot of different ones.
Where's the Titans game?
Titans game's on the road. They are not at home.
But that'll be taken. You'll be able to get from.
I bet we get that somewhere local.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And then I know the Jets-Giants is an NFL.
I want to say
net.
Charles Davis might be on the analyst call with the Titans preseason package.
Could be.
I think so.
Are you sure he's not with a Florida team? He does live in Orlando.
No, last year he did preseason with the Titans and then the position at Fox.
We have to thank Bill Bender. You'll hear him every Thursday. Jason Muntz was kind enough to come on, and we just told you his news. Russell Copeland, Greg Gaston, Tim Doolin tomorrow, Bruce Marshall. We've got John David Bedour from the Touchdown Club to announce their lineup. Peter Edmiston, Glenn Rogers Jr., Rick Horrow, Allie Prescott. It'll be a big, big day. This final portion of our program brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch with assurance and products. And I'm just telling you, I just was on the road with my Hyundai Santa Fe. There is no better car I have ever owned than that one. With safety features and even navigation with a little hologram in the lower 1/3 portion of your windshield. It's amazing. It's amazing the safety. It's amazing the service and assurance because every new car gets a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. That'll do it for us. I am going to petition if there's any move that is made about my golf picks, but that is an argument for another day. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
John Burgess, we're still in the afterglow of a very successful golf tournament.
Brett, I want to convey my sincere thanks to Daryl Smith and his staff at Jack Salmons and the board and CBS for putting on such a great golf tournament. Not only did we see great golf and saw Memphis and St. Jude painted in such a positive way, we got to show Memphis as the great foodie town that it is, from Andrew Michael to barbecue. And I especially want to express my appreciation for the cooperation shown by all the barbecue places at the pit. Even though we're competitors, we certainly work together to produce great barbecue. Especially I want to thank Walker Taylor with Germantown Commissary, Elizabeth Blondis with Central Barbecue, Ernie Meller with Hog Wild, and Pat Donahue and our staff at the Rendezvous. Dining out in Memphis is one of my great pleasures. Of course, we want everyone to come to the Rendezvous, but don't forget all the other great food establishments where all our friends and family work hard every day putting out great products and quality service. Food is one of those understated assets the world needs to know about Memphis.
The Rendezvous since 1948 in the alley in downtown Memphis.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a Frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford vehicles. Plus, earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. Don't let this hot deal on America's best-selling brand pass you by. Get into the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Based on 2010 through 2018 calendar year sales, Moda must be activated within 60 days of purchase through the Ford Pass app on a smartphone and remain active for at least 6 months after activation. Eligible on select 2019 model year vehicles. Vehicle must have arrived at dealer at least 61 days prior to the sale date. Estimated savings include an average dealer discount based on a sales survey of average discounts offered by Ford dealers nationally. Discount may vary. Dealer determines price. For all offers, take new retail delivery from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 9/3/19. See participating dealer for complete details.
Are you looking for a high-quality, family-oriented country club experience? Then look no further than Windike Country Club. As a member, you have access to the men's and ladies and junior golf programs, the best par 3 in the Southeast, and 2 18-hole golf courses that you're going to absolutely love. Windike is also a great place for weddings and wedding receptions. Keep it in mind. For more details on how to become a member, call them today at 754-1888 or email membership@windike.com.
It's all about the fun, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
One thing I've learned over the years, no matter what you're buying, the smart thing to do is to buy from someone who sells quality products, delivers great personal service,